All right. Let's see if we can get a signal to the Bat Cave. It's YouTube. You never know. YouTube? Okay, good. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy here on the Reality Scoot Gamers YouTube channel. The show where we do nothing but answer your questions, and we'll get into that here in a moment of how it all works. I'm your host, Ranger J, 1999, and of course, we always have lots of guests on who want to be on, and our first guest contestant on RSG Saturday Jedi Academy is the biggest sandfly on the beach. All this sandfly be joining us.
Um, I would like to take disappointing ships for 200, please. No, it's good to be back. Thank you so much. It's my honor. When I'm in the UK and when I'm not traveling, it's good to be on here, and I do enjoy. I hope for spicy questions. Please give us spicy questions. But yeah,
there you
good
go.
to be back.
Not
Hi,
like,
everyone.
what does it matter? Because you're going to say spicy takes there, Aldous.
Well, okay. Well, I do apologize.
No, you don't apologize for that. You just get spicy. Well, some of yours is spicy, but some are brain dead. But then some are really, really good. You just go all over the gambit.
The thing is, the difficult thing is, I don't. One of the weirdest things is because I'm not necessarily part of another group of streamers. I don't necessarily have other people I talk to very often. So whereas there are a number of streamers that are maybe part of a team or who raid each other or who are on each other's stream, nobody ever comes on my stream. Not because they don't want to, not because I don't invite them. It's just not something I do. And therefore, my opinions are me waking up in the morning going, well, I don't like this, or I think this is different, or I'm suspicious on this. So therefore, my ideas do tend to be a little bit, I do agree, a little bit out there, a little bit crazy, and I apologize.
I've been crazy in the past too. Like my opinion is going to be my opinion. I'll talk to other people, but I'm not going to change my mind on it.
Yeah, true.
Now I can be convinced to change my mind if you give me good reasons and factual information. I think the best compliment I ever got was from Tits McVenom. Says, the thing I love about Ranger, he's got his opinions and he's strong about it, but if you give him good reasons to not believe that, he will listen and change his mind. And I'm like, yeah, as long as you got good arguments and good facts on your side, I'm all for it. That being said, how does this all work? Well, it's pretty simple. First of all, in chat, if you're there, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comments, because that's what you have to do on YouTube to keep us up and running. If you'd like to see the Jedi Academy continue here on the YouTubes, that's the way to do it. Now, also give your greetings, say hi to me, say hi to all the other skewers. Judge out here in a minute, say thank you for being here. We appreciate it. If you have a question that you want to post to myself, Aldous, or whoever, be the baby Jesus for all I care, but get that question in and or comment that you want us to respond to. We'll give you our best answer and a response that we can, and that's how it works. This is 2 hours of us just answering questions. So we'll do that, and then I'll do my GAC here like I've been doing. A little GAC action for you guys as well, so you get a little bit of that, but we'll do that much later on the stream. So there you go. So good morning to everybody. Hope everyone's having a good morning. We're finally getting at the tailspin of this goddamn frigid weather here in the U.S. It is butt ass cold. I mean, good Lord. I'm tired of it being cold. I hate the winter. I actually do very well in cold. I just don't like it. This is because I'm very good at being in it. Doesn't mean I like it. So that's why I've been working out in the afternoons, because I went to work out the other morning and it was like 8 degrees. I'm like, nope. I'll wait till it warms up into the 30s before I go to the gym, because this is some horrid, wretched shit. So yes, get your questions in. Good morning to everybody. Let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody. We've got the engineer, choo choo. The train engineer coming in says, "What the? Now I'm too early." Yeah, but okay. It's good to be earlier. What else in 3? Hello, glad to have you here. Linky. Yes, Linky, it is Saturday already. Michael W. Huntington III of His Majesty's Secret Gaming Service says, good afternoon, skewers. Good afternoon, old boy. Jedi Rules, our Legoland master, says, hey from San Diego. Glad to have you here. Jason Hobby says, word to the mothership. Word indeed, homie. Indeed. Yeah, I'm not. Yes, thank you, engineer. That's not having me ranting. Nathan H says, good morning, skewers. Good morning, Nathan. Let's see. Facts. Porgs are friends, not food. No, they're food. I mean, anything can be food. If you are hungry enough, food, it's food. Trust me. And we have our first question already, all this. Look at that. Just like that, we have our first question. Our first question of the day. It says, how can Disney improve their Star Wars and Marvel shows? Andor and Loki are great, but so many are mediocre. I don't know. I mean, first of all, media is subjective. What you might find mediocre, someone might find incredible, right? It's an age thing. We're all built differently in like our taste and what we respond to. I do agree with your general sentiment that for the vast majority of people, it's been very more miss than hit. Like with Marvel, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I watched and I was like, this is incredible. I love this. Loki, this is incredible. And then I'm like, I love this. And then I watched some of the other stuff like Secret Wars. Like, what were y'all doing? Why? Why would you put this out? And that happens, right? Not everything can be a home run in your eyes. Um, Star Wars for me, it's been good, but some stuff has been really, really good, and some of it's been, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, good, but some in there. Last season of Mandalore, there was a lot of good stuff in there, but there was also some, eh. Then you have stuff like Andor. My God, incredible! Like every episode of Andor, I was just like, I could not. It was just incredible, right? And that comes down to writing and who's directing it and things of that nature. So how can they improve? I don't know. It depends on their premise of what they're trying to accomplish. I think what they did with Ahsoka, which I'm really glad, is that they've expanded the Star Wars universe now and are bringing in more things. Instead of it just being self-contained like it's always been, it's really been pushed to where there's all kinds of possibilities now. And I give Ahsoka a lot of credit for that, bringing that kind of stuff in. But I mean, every person's going to have their opinion on that. Like I always give this example. I can't stand episode 2 of the movie franchise, Attack of the Clones.
Empire Straight Back?
No. That's episode 5. Come on. No,
I know.
Come on now.
I'm waiting to come into this question because this question is brilliant. I love this question. Right.
But there's a lot of people that love that. They love episode 2. I don't. I find it hard to watch. It's one of those shows. Besides Yoda doing his thing, that's the only thing I can really stomach on that. There's some one or two things I can watch, but it's just bad, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's if you enjoy it, that's all that matters. And so, you're gonna have to find your own voice in that. You can watch people's opinions to see what they think, but it should never form your own opinion. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you love it, like Calvin Awesome loves episode 1. That's his favorite movie. Not my favorite, other than Duel of the Fates, which I can watch over and over again. As soon as I hear that music, my eyes turn and go, yeah, I'll watch this for the next 20 fighting. But that's just the way it is. So, before I get your opinion on this, Aldous, Carthrick, I just saw you pop in. What's going on, Carthaginigus?
Oh, not too much. Just moseying around these parts again.
Yes. Glad to have you here. All right, Aldous. I mean, media subjective. What you like, and there's no wrong answer. But how can they make it not mediocre for the general fan base? I don't know. I mean, sometimes the writing can be it's very bland. But I like people that take risks. That's why I like Andor so much.
Okay. The question is a bit strange to me. So I presume, so the question to me is, how can Disney Plus improve their shows? Now,
it just says Disney. It doesn't say Disney Plus. Improve their Star Wars and Marvel shows.
We'll move it away. So, ladies and gentlemen, our Lord and Savior Bob Iger. So Bob Iger was lost from Disney and from Star Wars. He lost control for about 4 or 5 years. And Disney switched more to about Disney Plus and the shows. When Bob Iger was voted back in, Bob Iger loves the movies. So I think we're going to see the whole of Disney, whether it's Marvel or Star Wars, will move back towards the movies being bigger and more events. and the series will be more kind of setting it up or the background. But I think we'll see less kind of maybe less low key and less Andor, and some of those better ones will start to become bit parts in the movie stuff. So I think we'll see Disney move. Disney's main KPI going forward will be massive openings on the films and much, much, much less on the series. So the series and Disney Plus will kind of maybe tail off. I don't think we'll see as much investment in Disney Plus and as much new stuff in Disney Plus, but I think the movies will get even bigger.
Well, I think what I like that you can do with the shows is tie them into movies, right? Because you can really
You
tell
pad them. You flesh it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you enrich what might happen in it. You give you give who might be a bit part character like Cassian Andor in a film. You give him a backstory. You give him a part, and you give him more of a story, and that makes the film then more powerful.
Yeah, Rogue One.
And
God.
same with people like Pedro Pascal. You give them more of a thing. So yeah, no, I am 100% for me, but I don't think they're going to make the shows any better. Other than the fact I actually think they're focused back on the movies and those 3 movies being incredible. I think Bob Iger will insist it. I think they'll take their time over it. I know they postponed the Ray one,
Good.
but I think they'll postpone it for the right reasons, and they will literally give like an amazing film. All 3 films will be amazing. All 3 films will start maybe even 2 other films. So I think we'll start to see Disney Plus maybe even get shut down.
I don't think so. They're making too much revenue.
Never.
Yeah, they're making too much revenue on
Never
Disney Plus. Not just
Disney Plus.
There's they'll keep it up because they've got to compete in that market. They can't allow Netflix and Amazon to dominate because they've seen the profit that those make off their own IP. That's why they did it.
But it is not a Bob Iger. It is not a Bob Iger thing. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want it. It's like he doesn't understand it. He prefers the big opening, the huge movie, and put the money into that.
I think you can have both, right? You just have to be.
You can.
You have to take Disney Plus, and if you don't like where it is, then there's things that they can change about Disney Plus to make it,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Disney Plus is still great. I love
let's
Disney
be
Plus.
honest though. It's as much as nobody wants to broach the subject, it is because they have let too many idiots steer the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You have too many people that have an axe to grind, a point to prove, a narrative they want to spin, helming shows. That's what's happening. That's straight up why everything kind of hits or misses. Because if you agree with those kinds of ideas, no matter where they fall, you enjoy that because it's something that you can relate to and agree with. If you don't, you don't watch it. But you watch. Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you mean Dave Filoni or Kathleen Kennedy?
Not Filoni, no, but Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah.
Well, Filoni still has his own problems too. He's not perfect.
Both of them drive different agendas, but they both of them. I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't mean to. Please don't. I mean, don't answer. I mean, like, I think everyone. I agree with you that people are pushing agendas, and you're getting lost in the kind of a lack of a single vision to me. And you get this kind of committee.
But you have
a committee of a film or a committee of a series. And I agree that Kathleen Kennedy kind of puts some of that in. Disney puts some of it in. Dave Filoni puts some of it in.
I'll give you an example. Grogu was not meant to come back, and it's been recorded that Favre was about to leave the show, but it was something that they said that you had to do. Right? That's Filoni. He's a giant nerd, which I love about Dave Filoni when it comes to Star Wars. If you've ever heard him and Sam Witwer sit down and talk Star Wars, it's ridiculous, right? He cares about Star Wars and the characters and the mythos and the legend, and that's where he's coming from. Now, there have been other shows that have had different things, but I think what's up with Cards getting at it, you look at the movies, right? And you look at some of the shows that have been interfered with, and you can tell, right, that there's like, we need a female character. not that we need a good character, we just need a female character, or we need this type of character, or we need a certain specific male type of character. To me, they need to get out of that. A good character, I don't care what they are, it's just a well-written, developed character.
They need to get back to two things, which is doing good characters and good character development, and then having thought through the storyline. Like you want to know why 7, 8, and 9 sucked. It's because they had no vision beyond episode 7. Episode 7 is okay. There are things about it that are stupid. I won't disagree with that. But for the most part, it is a basically updated version of episode 4. Almost, for plot point's sake. It's not a bad movie. It's just nothing great. But what ends up happening is you get things where you get off into the weeds where, they want to get points for having, celebrities show up. Like the Mandalorian episode with Jack Black and whatever that rapper chick's name is. Like, what was the point? Like, it brought some things in, but like it really didn't do anything besides get Bo-Katan the defense fleet back. And so it's like you could have told that story a bunch of other ways, but you chose to do it in a really kind of like almost non-Star Wars story setting. Like I think the problem with Disney is that the Marvel universe is bleeding too much over to the Star Wars universe. They don't really have the same vibes, and so it's just really hard for like you can get away with that kind of stuff in the Marvel universe because there's so many different stories to tell. The universe is so expansive. Everything has been thought up under the sun, where Star Wars has kind of had the rails on to a degree, right? There are certain things that Lucas allowed and didn't allow for his creative vision, and so that's kind of how everything was established. And now that he's sold the company, we're starting to variate from that, and a lot of it doesn't end up being very, very good. But the main point I was going to get back to is what's happening is you have shows like She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, right? Love it, hate it, however you feel about it. I don't give a shit. That show had as big a budget as a movie and failed terribly. But it's because you're getting these people that think that they can take, if we just had bigger budgets, we could make these shows better. It's like, you don't need a bigger budget. You need a better story. Yeah.
I mean, the reason Andor is so good, the story is phenomenal, right? But it's the characters. Luthien is one of the most incredible characters that has ever come into the Star Wars universe. I mean,
very powerful.
I mean,
very powerful character.
God, and then the expansion of Momo. She just. It's just one of those things you look at and you're just like, you get these character moments. And I mean, Luthien's speech in Andor, whoever wrote that deserves an Academy Award. That was incredible. I mean, the way that actor portrayed that speech, you believed it. You felt it. You were just like, what the fuck? What has this guy been through? Right. And what a mindset, and you feel that. And there are moments in the other Star Wars shows. There was it was like that with the Mandalore. There are these great moments, but then there's also the Jack Black and stuff where you're just like, that just was not necessary. It totally took away from what I gave a shit about, which was the relationship developing between Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. It's like that was really coming to its own, and it gets derailed, and you're just sitting there going, no, God damn it, no, get away. Why are you doing this to me? It's like, God, you're doing so well.
Yeah, well, that's how and that's been the problem with a lot of Disney's TV shows is that they keep stepping over each other to get to new narrative points. Like Grogu was never designed to come back to Din. And so season 3 got hijacked into, well, now that you're back, we kind of have to train you to be a Mandalorian now, because otherwise you're just a useless infant child that just rides around in the pod. So it's like narratively, you got to start elevating these other characters. So then you got to spend a lot of time backtracking and not making meaningful progress on the narrative. It's like there's so much of season 3 where it's like there's a couple really good episodes, and then there's an episode of just like, well, that was a long to do for nothing. It's
Yeah,
like
if
there's
you
just so many things
just
that don't make sense in how they
there
drug out a
does.
single plot point for 40 minutes. It's like, oh, well,
Yeah,
that's
and folks, can I
cool.
make another point to you? And I saw this in the Ahsoka show because they were talking about how Ahsoka was monotone and she was just bleh. I'm like, just give it some time. And by the time of it, it switched because that was her character arc. You saw the difference in her through all that, where she was and why she was in this kind of mode. And then things happen. You haven't seen it. I mean, episodes 4 and 5, and it's so incredible. Oh my God. And then you see her change because she's, getting rid of guilt and pain and letting her past go and things of that nature and changing her, you know, epiphany. So, they need to focus on that. I think Ahsoka does a really good job of these character moments. Aiden Christian was incredible in that show. Andor does it. But then you get to other shows and it's like, what are you doing? Book of Boba Fett was a mess. Kenobi was a
Book of
mess.
Boba Fett was like the Tuscan stuff was cool and interesting.
I really
And
loved
then
it.
like I think the very last episode where it's just like a full on like town war with it, like it was just theatrically interesting, kind of dumb, but theatrically it was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Riding the Rancor and destroying the town. It was kind of fun to watch all that stuff, but a lot of this, and then Kenobi kind of felt the same way too. Kenobi was like it felt like they were trying to go for the Andor vibe of like a slow burn. Let's build up to something really impactful, and then nothing really impactful ever came. Like I think the
No.
most like emotional moment was the duel between um Kenobi and Vader.
Yeah.
Like I think that
That
was
was
like the most
incredible.
interesting, and everything else was just like you're forcing me to care about characters that are going to be dead in the next 30 minutes. And you're like they just don't do a good job of setting up characters as to why you should care about them. Like I think there are more people interested on the Jedi names in the wall on that
Oh
on
my
the
God.
path
Yeah.
more people were talking about that than like any of the characters. Like, oh, who else was there? Because there was like Quinlan Voss and a couple other characters. Because people are trying to see, who could show up somewhere else and things like that. It's just like that's a
Well, the
sign that
other,
you
yeah.
just have poor storytelling. Is you
Well,
just no one's intrigued into what you've got going on.
I mean, the relationship between young Leia and Kenobi was great, but it was too protracted long. It was just so long. It's like you don't need to be that long in their relationship, and it still would have, you could have really edited a lot of that out, and you still would have still had that incredible moment at the end of the show where Kenobi tells Leia about Anakin and Padme without saying their names. I think it's one of the more powerful moments in the show. But it's like that all that time they kept spending together. It's like, I get it, but you don't need to spend that much time. Jesus Christ. And it really made it just drew it out too long.
They really could have like cut out like a large chunk of that by having like a 5-minute conversation between Bale and Kenobi at the very beginning of the
Yeah.
show of like recapping what's happened for the last 10 years and kind of being like Kenobi like is interested, but he's very secretive about how he contacts Bale, so he only gets snippets from what's going on. But he's informed. He knows what's happening in Leia's life. It's not a complete like one off. Like it's just so funny that he's so hard in the sand about like I must stay here and defend Luke, and then he's like, but Leia, and he's like, oh okay, I'll go. It's like wait a minute, like your objectives just shifted so narratively based that it doesn't really make sense for the character. And there was just a lot of things like that in the show where it's just like, well, because reasons. Like, how is Reva the only person in the world who put together that Bail Organa and Kenobi were
I know,
friendly
right?
during the Clone Wars? Like, you gotta be shitting me.
You don't
Like,
think Darth Vader knew that?
you don't think so many like Palpatine knew
How
that
many,
because
how many friends?
Bail and Padme were incredibly close throughout their tenure in the Senate. Just a lot of things where it's just like narratively something happens and then it's just because I mean and Star Wars has gotten a really big like just the stupidest thing in the world. It's happened in Ahsoka. It happened in Kenobi, where somebody gets stabbed with a lightsaber, and it like the next episode, it's like it never happened, and it's just like I really want deaths to mean a lot more. Like, granted, it was the dumbest thing in the world for them to have, like, Reva kill the Inquisitor, right? Like the Grand Inquisitor, because everyone knows
He's not dead.
he can't be dead. He physically cannot be dead because he shows up in a medium that is canon after this series takes place. So he can't be dead. It's just like, oh, okay, well that's when so then the question isn't like, oh man, she killed him, like that's now like, so she must be like really powerful. It's like, no, we're just now waiting the game for when she comes back. That's all we're doing.
All right, let's move off this because I think we've talked about this.
We could spend the rest of the Jedi Academy talking about it.
But let's get to some Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions. Good start, but yeah. The engineer choose this question. What's the first impression of the new Zori ship?
I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's not hitting anything meta. Like it deals with the standard executor lineup.
Yes.
But it does not deal with the triple attacker, and there is a way you can get it to, but it's a bigger risk than the other stuff. So I don't know if it's even going to play out, because you're just sacrificing too much on your comps. But it's performing better. Let's just put it this way: it's no longer the worst fleet in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but in the same stride, it's not really punching up into it's not going to do anything with the profundity because they can't gain their turn meter.
Not gonna do anything in Leviathan.
It's not going to do anything versus Leviathan because they just get shit on so fast. So I mean,
Negotiator's not gonna. That's a rough one too with Marauder in there now. So yeah. All right. Answer your question for Sandfly. You asked for spicy. What Star Wars character would look good in a kilt? Preferably not one that does somersaults to keep it clean. Oh my god.
Isn't there one already?
I
swear in the Clone Wars series, there's one that wears a kilt.
There is many. Okay. So there's a couple of honorable mentions here. Number one, our Lord and Savior Ewan McGregor. All hail.
I will be getting my
Ewan
picture
McGregor.
on the 4th with him.
Also, can we just give a massive shout out to Samuel L. Jackson in 51st State, who wore a kilt through the entire movie and looked hot as F.
I love
those two. Okay, so number one best of the kilt, it's got to be Samuel L. Jackson. Actually, the weird one I'd like to see in a kilt, Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn. Okay, let me explain. Okay, no, because the kilt for a Scottish person is a war dress. Yes. It is to show what team you're on. It is to show you as being like a masculine man. And I'd love to see, there's two of them. I'd love to see either Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn wearing a kilt and come out with like an imperial, like a dark leather kilt, like a kind of solid one on, and just be so confident because he's the warmonger, or the Ukrainian actress that played Shin, because I'd love to see her more as a battle woman. So the blonde girl who was in Ahsoka, who was the Balin's apprentice, I think she would suit a kilt and she would look incredible in it. And I think giving her sort of a modern flex in a kilt, especially like a leather black kilt, giving her a dark one, I think it would suit her so much better.
All right. All right. Next question. What are your thoughts on the new Bo coming back this soon, and how many new unlocks do you think there will be? Well, I got to tell a story on this. Wednesday on the lunch stream, I was sitting there because we talked about this, Karth, right? The release seemed early. We thought it was going to be in January. All this stuff.
I I thought her release would have been
that's what I said on the one.
this release.
This was going to be the first release of it, right? It just
Yeah.
timeline. It just made sense with the way they were releasing everything. But they brought it in early, and then nobody got it. I think like maybe 900 people got it.
913, I think, was the first
and
count.
So I was like, and I started having a good discussion because I was just like, as a business major, if that was the response and it's way too soon and nobody invested, why not bring it back sooner rather than later? Because we just got the new Datacron set. I'm like, it's got a major bow on there, bow ability, which is outrageous how good that is. I'm like, as a business person with a degree in business and marketing, I would bring it back. And, I got some pushback, which is fair that, no, they've never done it. They're not going to do it. I'm like, yeah, but there's this Galactic Chase. And I know in the Galactic Chase, they always have another event going because they want to get those crystals in the economy. That's what they do. I mean, everything on the wall for me was just saying, God, if I was running CG, I would bring the event back, and, just as more of a topic of discussion, right? What I thought they should do, not that I knew what they were going to do. And lo and behold, they brought it back. And, what do I think? I'm fine with it because I had a sneaky suspicion that something like this was going to happen. I didn't think it'd be this soon because CG's never done that in their history. I was saying they should do it, but I was ready. So I'm ready we're going to do a video, me and Cars, tomorrow on the unlock of Bo. We'll talk about the mods and we'll go through the event for you guys and we'll put that up under the guides on YouTube. But it makes sense. It makes total sense for them to bring it back. If you didn't make profit or what you thought the first time, now you've incentivized with people that care about GAC, right?
Yeah.
With the level 9 on the Datacron and everything else, people were trying for it, have been pulling it out of shipments, even though IG-12 just became farmable in fleet. But that there's going to be more unlocks for sure. I think a lot more unlocks than people thought.
Yeah, they 100% looked at the math of who was buying, like how many more of those characters hit 7 stars, and they're like, we'll send it again, because it's like they might as well. And this might be a new trend for Epic Confrontations where they come back similarly to how fleets come back once a month. That might be the new trend they're doing.
Yeah, we
don't know. This is completely uncharted territory. But the thing that, like, when they did first bring it out so early, that was my issue with it as well, was like it just disincentivizes players from investing early, because the only way you can get there is if you're just willing to throw down stacks of cash on getting the chance packs. Like I told Scribe at the time, the only reason I got Kellerin to 7 stars in time was because I pulled a 145 pack after I already hit 5 stars. So I literally was just like, I spent what I was gonna spend on the character to get it to 5 stars, to get the Omicron and the portrait and the title and all that stuff. And then in that process, I pulled the big one and I was able to finish it off. Otherwise, I wouldn't have Bo right now. Right now I would be getting her with you instead of with a month ago. But I think it's kind of I think it's just really shitty. I don't like that CG leaves people in the dark on their intentions. I get why they do it from a business perspective, because if you tell people you're going to bring this character back once a month, then they're just going to wait until, because there's no missing out part of it. But the guys that they're going to push forward with, well, we're gonna reward the whales for spending all that money and giving them 1 month, 2 month early access onto the character, and then we'll bring it back quick so that way everybody else can then
make a decision if they're going to get it or
do some light spending to get there. But man, it doesn't feel good. I don't like how they did it. I think they should have released Bo. This should have been the first time she released, and they should have put Kellerin in farmable with the last week's update. But right now everything just feels bad, man. Like it just none of it feels good. I don't like that they did it. So
Yeah, because this is as I said, me and Karth, when they were asking when we thought Bo was going to come back, this is the exact time that me and Karth said, right after the holidays, 2 weeks after, we thought that's when they were going to bring Bo. But
Yeah.
they brought it in December, and I'm like, on the holidays, you think people are going to spend $300-400 for that? Krakens will. You already know that.
Well, Krakens already have. Like,
yeah,
that was
they've
the
already
thing. Is
spent.
like,
But what are you incentivizing? You're not going to incentivize someone, especially during the holidays, to Keller and Beck wasn't even in shipments, and you're like, you want us to spend $300? No,
yeah, yeah.
at minimum, with
It
beer and
was
everything, it was like, no, come on, man, we can be
it
smart
was
about this.
all poopy.
Yeah,
All of it was poopy.
now this one people will spend because they've seen what's out there and what you're going to have for Bo and how good she is. Now you can go like, okay, people will fork over, $20-30, maybe a little bit more to finish off.
I
the
honestly
characters.
think we'll probably see another 1,500 to I would say we'd probably see about 1,500 unlocks on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
And in addition to what we already have, because a lot of people just said, screw it, they're going to buy Keller out of shipments and call it a day. And so at this point, they would have him. And so you can go to, SWGOH.gg and you can go look up the player stats. So we can see right now how many Keller and Becks there are. Player data. We can look at all. So let's see. We want to. So currently there are 3,479 7-star Keller and Becks.
Right, with more to come.
So that's easily going to be 2,500 unlocks of Bo-Katan,
right,
more than likely. On this next pass, they're gonna see a massive surge and increase onto what it is on how many people have her. You're gonna see that massive surge. So it makes sense for them to do it. I just don't like how they've done it.
Yeah.
I really hope Kelleran hits a Cantina farm, because Kelleran and his Omicron is going to be a staple in TW for a while.
Yeah. All right, let's. Aldous, what do you think of the release and everything like that? Do you even have Bo? Are you getting her? Are you working on her? I mean,
No,
is that why? Is it because of your hatred for gingers? I mean, what's going on there?
No, I like you. No, I think the fact is people need to kind of move away from this. Well, this is what has happened before, so it definitely will not happen again. And I think you are 100% right on your Wednesday stream. Look, if it makes money for them to bring it back, bring it back. It doesn't bother me too much, because I think that there's two groups of people that spend money in this game, or people that spend a large amount of money in this game, and people who don't. Now, the people that spend a large amount of money in this game they're the ones that need to have this conversation, because this is only them. If you aren't spending money in this game, you're nowhere near Bo. Ignore the Datacron. You're not even at the point where this level of GEC really matters. Like there's a stratosphere and a cloud above you that have this Datacron. Well, I'll talk about Datacron in a minute, and I do have an important point about Datacron. But so yeah, I don't have a point to make on this. I think CG kind of throwing a carrot out to the whales or the dolphins and then pulling it back slowly as they're reaching for it, going, give me more money, give me more money, give me more money, is exactly what a company would do. And I think it makes sense. Is it pretty shitty? The one thing I would... Okay, there's two schools of thought. If they kind of told you it was coming back, then they'd probably have got more people spending money more consistently, instead of this surprise comeback where you have to spend $30-50 to get it. I think we already knew it was going to get a Datacron. I think the Leia showed that. I think they're going to start giving Datacrons immediately to new people, instead of where in the past they gave it like a month or two.
Well,
it doesn't... Okay, so it doesn't bother me at all. Sorry, Karthik, I will. It doesn't bother me, because it's not my thing to chat about, because Bo's not in my sphere. I will get Bo semi free to play. I won't spend any crystals on her, but I'm not free to play. But I will get her in about 3 to 4 months, 5 months. The only thing I would guard against now is the drop rate on her Datacron at level 9 is
Oh,
that
it's going to be shitty.
they've suckered these people into kind of spending 100, 200, get her now. The only reason they're doing that is because they want to get that Datacron. Now, if that Datacron has like a 0.0001% chance of dropping, which they could 100% do legally, then every single person is pot committed. And that's the bit where I find this very annoying and very sad. And therefore, I give everyone a little bit of a hug and I say, look after yourself. Don't spend more. Don't spend more than you ever would on it. Be careful. Remember, these drop rates are not published. You could re-roll 50 times and not get that character. And we don't yet know the drop rates.
Go ahead, Carl.
Oh, I was just saying that they have for a while with every new conquest character and things of that nature, even with Cal, right? They're putting a Datacron out immediately when that character comes out. It's usually the set that follows that character's release, depending on what that is. But the short answer here is, Aldous was saying that the whale should speak to that as somebody who does spend in this game a fair portion. It the purpose of being a whale in mobile games or in any game, spending that kind of money, is to have a competitive advantage, which is fine. I get all of that, but I don't like the concept of making it so exclusive that people who could have been prepared free to play are now locked out for whatever period of time. That's just what kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't like that concept.
You're
'Cause
right,
it's
Kathy. Sorry. There is a problem when the whale cloud gets so far away from the normal good player that it starts to break the connection.
yeah.
Like you've got to have that bleeding between the dreamers who are doing things, the people who gamble and go for a character a little bit early because they think, oh, this guy might be really good. You've got to have those people kind of bleeding in to the cloud. Otherwise, it suddenly becomes this kind of this two-tier system, which
Mhm.
which I don't think is healthy.
No, it just becomes one of these things where the entire game premise is now basically there is no point for you to try, because unless you're willing to throw down, $1,500 a month on the game, which is way out of most people's ballparks, you're never going to be able to compete at the high end of this game. I mean, it goes to show, like, you take somebody who is incredibly skilled at PvP and they have like a 10 million GP account, and then you pit them against any one of the top 8 players in GAC in Kyber 1, they're going to get absolutely wrecked. No matter how good their skill level is, they will never have the roster depth. I mean, we were talking about this last night. I have got a 96.5% protection cron for my JML, and that goes away, here in a little bit. There are players that were willing to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll and re-roll until they get perfect Datacrons for their teams. There's a level of spending that is just, it's so hard to catch up with it. It's not a competitive playing field anymore. And so, like, the only thing that kind of leveled that out in my head was that the access to the newest characters was, you could be relatively prepared free to play, and having access to the newest characters gave you the opportunity to still be competitive if you weren't going crazy hard on Datacrons. And now, if they're just going to be like, well, nothing's released yet, they're barely in shipments, spend $500 to unlock the characters, spend another couple $100 to get the single data and the gear and the relic materials, and then you'll get this new character who, Bo's great. She's a great character, but she's just an offensive tool. So she's not like needed for a lot of anything besides, just having a good time. So it just becomes one of those things where it's like, if they're going to push it this kind of way, I don't see a reason to invest into any of it, because it just means it's like what happened with Galactic Legends, right? They used to be everything was farmable prior to their release, and they've moved to the model of we'll release them when everything hits shipments, and then it rewards the players who are prepared, aka spenders, because they'll get a couple months early access compared to when people would be waiting for it to go farmable.
I mean, sorry,
And
Karthik. I 100% appreciate them trying different modes of monetization and
sure,
different ways to look, because the only way of them probing these different things is the only way for them to get our feedback. Now,
mm-hmm.
but the best way to give them our feedback is if there's something we don't like, reject it.
Yeah,
So right now, if when this Bo event comes back, you drop $200 and you buy Bo, don't come back in here in 6 months' time going, well, I don't like this launch cadence. Like you've got
yeah,
to reject it. You've got to be like, okay, I am not going to bite on their carrot, because if you bite this time, they're coming back for you next time.
oh
They're coming
yeah,
back again. They're coming back for you the time after. Every time they do. So when they did Bo super early, a lot of people reject it. So I don't think we'll see quite the cadence that Bo had the first time. But I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that. The feedback is money, nightmare.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you reject it, but if we all accept it and everybody reaches out and they get a huge bump in money for that Bo event, then 100% this is now the new normal. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it
What
becomes.
it got rejected well enough to where I really hope they don't replicate that, because I mean, honestly, to push that out and only get 1,000 unlock, like not even 1,000, you're sub 1,000 unlocks, it it was just it was something that nobody really wanted. And so it's like they need to do a better job at either making the sales pitch on the characters, and they have a hard time even doing that because the beta program doesn't exist. And so that makes it really challenging to make good sales pitches, because it was like they come out with Leia. Leia is an incredible offensive powerhouse. She's going to dominate the battlefield, but she's not really good on defense. And then the Drogonkron drops, and you're like, yeah, but now she wrecks on defense, so we're going to just put her on defense the entire time. And so it's like they have a hard time getting out accurate information. Like Bo-Katan is great, but Bo-Katan is going to be like one of the worst banner efficient teams on versus most of her GL lineups.
Yeah.
So you're not really going to want to use her in the efficiency meta that we're now been provided with. So it's like they keep giving us stuff and then gutting it immediately. Like they don't understand how things interact with each other. It's like, oh well, we're gonna make Bo basically 2-man Lord Vader, and it's gonna be awesome. You're like, yeah, you know what's gonna happen if I see that you have Bo. Lord Vader's not going on defense, because there is nothing that she can't beat when it comes to a Lord Vader lineup. So it's like the only reason I would put it is in the hopes that they use Bo to bleed banners, but that would be the only reason to put it down on defense. And so it's like there's just so many things that CG's doing right now where it's like their Datacron set is pushing a highly offensive meta, and defense is kind of lackluster or not really worth it, especially where I'm at up in
It's same
Kyber
here in
1.
bottom of Kyber 1. It's no
But
different.
that's just where it's at. So you're stuck there. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's like if you want to keep bringing in more offensive tools, like I don't need them. I can win by just taking all my GLs to offense, and I will
I
perform
think they
just as
care
well with or
though.
without Bo.
Do you
They,
not think? Do you not think that okay, if only 1,000 people unlock Bo, do you actually think they're like, okay, I'm going to focus more on the 4 or 5 million people and try and shift some light speed bundles rather than care too much about the new big release for the whales? I mean, that money is diminishing over time. You talked about kind of some of the releases in the past. This has probably been one of the lowest releases. I would have said Leia was probably one of the lowest GLs unlocked. I don't know. I just feel as though their focus is less and less the top people and more how do we get a money? How do we get
oh
ongoing
yeah,
monies?
Of
oh yeah,
course, and it should be.
because they should be, and 100% that's where their focus should be at this point in their game, is getting the early and mid game players caught up to the quote unquote end game experience. Because this is the math on that, right? It's like if you had 10 people willing to give you $1,000 a month, you'd be making good money, 10 grand a month. But if you could take and get 100,000 people to give you $1 a month, you're making way more. And so that's why the hyperdrive bundles have been such a massive success, because you bring in a pack that the value is just off the freaking charts, right?
Yes.
Like you are getting R5 characters for nothing. You're not spending the chirotech, the signal data, the relic materials. None of the investment is going into these characters to getting them to R5. And then you get a GL on top of it. And so it's like it's a total, it's like how many people who already had the Chimera bought the Phoenix pack?
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds, thousands of them. Why? Because it got their entire Phoenix faction to R3
Me.
for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah,
I did
exactly.
that.
And
The only
that's
only Lightspeed I've ever bought. But oh my god, that was good value. Sorry.
yeah, but that's my point. It's like, so that's where CG needs to put their focus in on, and they can, and you can see that they are pivoting that direction, and I think that's why they're kind of getting to the point where they're like, we're going to reward the whales for spending, and we're going to give them, the new shinies for a limited time in their own little pool of what they can do, and they can have fun and they can do their own thing, and nobody else is going to have it besides a few people. And that could kind of be the trade-off on that. But I think that they need to focus more on bringing value to the players, getting players kind of caught up, because it's like at this point it feels like endgame doesn't really start until at least 8 million GP, and realistically, if you want to be any kind of endgame player, you need to be more past 10. And so it's like that's where the focus needs to be, is pushing more and more towards elevating the middle and the early game accounts and bringing them up to an experience to where the game is actually fun. It's like CG lowering the relic requirements on their Datacron sets. We're 3 sets in a row now with a lowered set. It's proving that there is a higher engagement factor because people don't have to invest as high into.
Doing a thought in a sentence, Karthik. Thoughts on bringing back early. What's your summary?
On bringing her back early?
Yeah, bringing Bo-Katan back early. Predatory.
In a sentence, I think it's complete dog shit, because I don't like them doing cadences that are inconsistent with what they've done in the past.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Let's see. Next question. Oh, meow meow. Soka meow. Hey, what's going on, girl? Says Ranger, are you getting Bo? Yes, we will be doing the event tomorrow. Me and Karth will do a video, and I will put it out tomorrow for you guys. We'll go over the modding, the strategy, everything, and we'll get that beautiful gingivitis up. So I worked hard, did a great job. I got it ready. Wolfell question. The more important thing is the 3rd and 4th Bo release. If not monthly, say that 3rd release is in 2 months, not able to get free to play. Then 4th like GI, and not for 6 or 7 after that. I mean, I don't know when they're going to bring her back. It could be April. It could be next month. I don't know. They're doing something different there over at CG.
They could be doing it every month, literally
Like the
just
ships.
to get the Datacron exposure and usage.
Yeah.
But that could be just a thing that they're doing now. Maybe they want to move everything coming back once a month, because the more players will be encouraged to spend or expedite their farming to get those characters a little sooner instead of waiting for that normal 3 to 4 month span as to when they would come back.
They're gonna take their time.
So it's like all the only reason I could see them doing for bringing it back is, like we said before, is that they are trying to catch the next wave of spenders into the game, and that's all they're really shooting for with that.
All right.
I disagree a little bit. I actually think they've kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit. I think we are moving into a world where the defensive teams aren't as good.
They
And
need to
we have a-
expand JC
We have
teams.
no, please don't.
No,
we have
they
a
need
ton-
to.
no,
I'm
please
sorry.
don't.
It's
Please
time.
don't.
It's overdue.
They
Okay. Hi,
they
need
need
to
to
add more
create
teams.
Shut up. Do not
a
listen to this man. Do
No,
not
do
listen
not
to this
listen to
man.
They need
all
to
this.
create-
They need to.
no, they need to
Oh,
create
God,
a
no.
brand new division for
True.
GAC.
I'm not talking lower Kyber. I'm talking upper tier
Like
Kyber.
they just need to separate that. Let Kyber 1 be where mid tier goes. Let higher end players get a new division where
No,
they
we
can
need
have
we need
more.
2 Kybers. You can join a 17-hour Kyber league,
What?
right? With $1 million on defense, and you can join like a 1-hour Kyber league that everybody else will join. No, we can't keep adding pieces, but that's not the question. Sorry, my question was more about at the moment. I feel when we move into the new, we're moving. There's too many teams on offense at the moment. We are able
Way
to
too
clear
Mhm.
almost everything.
Mhm.
Giving Bo-Katan having an amazing Datacron for offense doesn't really sell her that much because it's like another team to clear things. So actually, they've kind of, in my opinion, kind of shot themselves in the foot. You don't need Bo-Katan to clear your opponent. You don't need that Bo-Katan. It will help, but for me, a little bit. If they'd launched this in a term when there was a lot more in defense and a lot higher defense crons, it would have made more sense. But they're kind of launching it into a space where there's kind of not defense is going to struggle. I would have said over the next couple of months, or in my opinion.
Yeah. So for me, the reason I say we need at least one more team in the back wall and one team each in the front wall, because when I'm looking at the teams here, all this that I have left over, and I'm lower Kyber 1, right? I'm looking like CLS, Bad Batch, Treya that I didn't use, all these teams. I'm like, okay. And you have, and 5v5, 3v3 is different because you have way more teams, right? And so much more shit going on there. 3v3 does not need an expansion. But 5v5 does, and I'm not talking big, sweeping changes, but adding just one team to each zone instead of being 4-4-3, just 5-5-4. Now, I'm not talking, they don't need to do a broad blanket thing where they go, well, Kyber 5 needs this too. No, it doesn't. Don't do that to Kyber 5-4-3. 2 and 1 would be fine,
And 100%, that's the on the nose of what the problem is, right? Is that we are allowed to consolidate our teams to a point where there's no penalty for sacrificing 2 or 3 squads to create a power team, right?
Yes.
Like that's the problem of the current Kyber environment, is that there is no penalty for running Lord Vader with Inquisitors. There's no trade-off for it. You're not penalized for doing it because you have 4 other teams that can deal with whatever those teams were going to counter in the first place. You can split, you can do all these things that doesn't change how the board plays out. And the only way to impact that is by having more teams required for defense and offense, because then you have to be far more selective as to what you are willing to set, which kind of weakens defense to a degree, right? Because you can't make super teams, but then you're spreading your opponent's roster a lot further. And that's where it starts to tax on them, because some of these Datacrons lift these teams up enough to where they're just enough of a problem. And that's going to cause enough heartache for things to be challenging. And so that's the really only way we solve the problem in my head.
No, I disagree.
I guarantee you that this year we see Kyber get at least 3 new defensive squads on the ground and at least 1 more fleet battle.
And the other thing too is that you don't need GLs to beat GLs. We had that one wall, and what else in 3's bringing it in there, where I'm like, I had 5 GLs. I used 1 GL to clear, and that's because it's so efficient. And that's Jabba versus Leia, and then the rest I'm like, you put JMK down, I'm using Inquisitors. You put Rey down, I'm using Starkiller. You put such team down, I'm using Dr. Afra. It's just these counters to them are so much. It's just, and that's why you're seeing people are like, fuck it. But why defense doesn't matter? you know, and I think add and expansion gives you more to ponder and have to figure out, and gives, you know, upper Kyber something to consider. Like, okay, I just can't go willy-nilly with all these counters. I got to think about this because there's this team here and this team there with this Datacron. Right now, it's not like that. I mean, it's really coming down to efficiency. And that's why you're seeing either people don't care and they go full FU, you know, or they go efficiency. I saw one GL last JC round and lost because it was.
I mean,
it was,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I mean,
it's just one of those things. Like, something needs to be done for 5s, not 3s. We don't need expand ships yet. Let's not fuck around with that. But I just think 3 more teams on defense is not going to change that dynamic. After I saw what I had left over in offense with like 6 high relic teams that I didn't use, I'm like, yeah, 1 more team in each zone ain't going to hurt anything.
I mean, all my friends on the island, I keep GLs now for ships. I full cleared my last opponent, and I bought Kyber 1. I full cleared them and kept GML, like, just for no reason, just because I didn't fucking need them.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Like, there is too much in offense. I don't agree the solution is just to add more people. There needs to be a bigger thought about it, but I accept that is a short-term solution. I just, honestly, I'm upping my Twitch sub. If I have to do 5-hour streams to do GAC, I'm charging people more a month.
I don't think you're not gonna spend more time in GAC because, especially even if we put more teams down, we already know the counters for most stuff. It's just a matter of what you want to use where is going to be the most efficient. And you still have the RNG of the Datacrons. So you can have those fights where it's like dodge, dodge, dodge. Uh-oh. And then you have the 2-shot and use something, you know.
It takes me about half an hour to do a battle. I'll be there all month. Well, but no, look, but I hope they don't just add. I hope they come with a more sustainable solution. The problem for me just adding is it doesn't fix the long-term problem. So in 2 years' time, we have the same discussion. And do we add again?
Well, it does
and
need
do we
to be
add
organic.
again?
Yeah, I mean,
and do we add again? So there has to be a smarter solution to it.
There has to be a way
hopefully.
where they kind of start doing some sort of either banning process where they exclude factions in a certain GAC month, which is going to go over incredibly poorly. And it kind of goes against their natural ethos of we want you to use your roster, not just your best 5 teams. And so I could see why they wouldn't want to push it that direction, but at the same time, the only other way is to do things like ops, right? Where like you platoon, 5 characters to the north zone, and then you unlock an ability for the zone or whatever they end up doing. That seems to be the only way that you can really kind of make that work. Is like you would have to find some way to integrate ops into GAC.
Give us like a light side versus like light side one round, dark side next round. I know that kind of screws Jabba, but just give us something. I think I don't know the solution. I'm not smart enough to know, but hopefully they're sitting there. And I think the time it's taken them to not come up with a solution is a good sign, because hopefully when they come up with the solution, it's a good one and it's a sustainable one. I don't mind them adding 2 or 3 to 5s, but please don't just do that and go, I fixed the problem, move on.
No, there's more that needs to be addressed for sure. But I'm just, just for right now, that would add a little bit more to GAC because it's pretty straightforward. Even when we get new teams, it's more like, with Bo, for me, it's like, all right, I have another team to take out a GL, and I could put another GL in defense or something. I just think it would just.
My opponent today was 1.2 million GP more than me, and I full cleared him.
Yeah.
Without, and I was still mucking around and trying different counters because I knew I wasn't going to win because the quantity of overburden and over Datacrons he had, but I still cleared him. He couldn't stop me clearing him, so. Yeah, it's I don't know. It needs a rework, but for me, not just an addition, because I would have still cleared them. Had they added it on, I would have still cleared them. I still think I had CLS anyway.
All right. Next question, Gav P. Who is the handsome island man in the top left? He seems like a wise, knowledgeable gentleman. You know who he is. All right. Hit me, Kimmy, one more time. Kimmy, baby, what's going on? Says question. So something like a Beskar League above Kyber? Sure. Well, I mean, that, for the top, there's a vast difference in Kyber 1 between the top, I'd say, or top 200 and the rest of Kyber with what is there for Datacron spending, teams, that kind of thing. They created like an echelon. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, you break about the top like 200 in Kyber 1, and then that's a brand new field of like the Datacrons are far more refined. They all almost everybody has 20 to 30 Datacrons of a set. They've got them all maxed out level 9s. It's the investment level is much higher at that end.
It used to be the pay to win level. Now it's the pay to lose to each other level.
Yeah.
I think it's the reality. You get people at the top that are spending $2,000 to lose to someone who spent $2,001. Like it's insane. It's like the most pointless. Sorry, it is a bit pointless. I think honestly, everyone needs to look at each other and say the Datacrons are spending. I think it's got out of control. I think there needs to be. I agree with there being a different level. I've always kind of wanted a kind of you have the gauntlet, I think, or the crucible or something in TW where you have certain teams or certain guilds that go against each other. I think you need to start creating a sort of an elite promotion relegation 100 people.
Yeah.
And I think you need to start giving them more crystals because they deserve it. I think the people in that space that are spending that amount of money to fight each other, I respect that and I'm happy with that. So I do think they deserve more crystals, more reward, and I'd love to see them battle each other and be like, it matter more than just kind of like 20 crystals a day. I'd love it to be like 100,000 crystals for being number one after like every month. I'd love it to be that because I'd love to see people stripped to the waist, kind of punchy. I'd love to see it really matter. These people that are running like 15 accounts or anything else that's going on, I'd love to see it like the absolute best player getting like 20,000 crystals. And it being published on the website, say this person
I would broadcast that. I
love
shit.
it. I would love to see that. I'd love to see it.
You should have seen the views when we did the content creators versus devs for that one time. That thing exploded, man. And if you don't want to do that, fine. It doesn't have to be content creators, but you could take the top 100 in Kyber, make it like kind of like an EA sport, where you just you pick a couple fights and you just broadcast the match live, or you can go back and say, hey, this person's played, like Sports Center, like this person plays this person, and you talk about it, and you get a real good discussion going about they use this team here, and then this failed, and what happened, and blah blah blah. They could really do something with it in the top, and they're not.
I don't know, but I would support like a Beskar League.
Yeah,
I think the people at the top 100 aren't being rewarded enough. I think the effort they're putting in, the money they're spending, the modding, the strategies, the invention that these people are bringing to the game is way ahead of. They are basically educating everybody else. These people should be fighting for a bigger prize than just like 260 crystals a day. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see like a winner take us all. I'd love to see that. That would be my world.
I think that'd be cool. All right. What else in 3 questions? Just to add to that point, I faced an opponent who put all GLs on 8 GLs on defense and all 3 meta fleets on defense. I full cleared with 3 GLs. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The engineer choose this question for Carthagenicus. I had to pause for family stuff. That happens. Why stay at top of Kyber 1? You don't need the crystals, and if you drop to Kyber 2, you win all the time and get more crystals. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, if you go into Kyber 2, you don't get more crystals, and it doesn't. Here's the thing: is for me, I would have to intentionally lose the better part of an entire season to even drop into Kyber 2. So I'm going to go an entire 0-9, which means I get bagel crystals the entire time for a month, which isn't great. But then I get into Kyber 2, I will just donkey punch everybody I face. There will be nobody who can go up against my account in Kyber 2 because I will be able to just out Datacron the crap out of them. And then I have more teams, I have more relics. I mean, my current opponent in GAC, I have more R8s in my account, more R8 pluses than he has R5 pluses in his account. So there's just there's a sea of difference. I'm 13.6 million in this game. You know, like there, it just gets to a point where it's not fun. But the reason why I stay in Kyber 1 is not because I want to be number 1 in Kyber. I like being competitive. And so to be competitive, I got to fight people who are my peers. So I don't want to go down to wallowing in the mud with the 8 million GP players just to go get some good wins for funsies. I'd rather fight players that know what they're doing, that are a challenge. I have to think about how I'm playing them. And if I want to take some time off, I do this during 3v3. Usually the first week of 3v3, I just full send, not giving a shit. Yeah. I'll do my minimums and I might try, but that's about all.
If I nuance the question a little bit, I mean, maybe the question is, why would you ever take 2 months off from Datacron farming and maybe miss a set that's meta? I know that affects you for 4 months, but
also
you could.
Yeah, that's
you would
tough.
you would never drop out, because we had that. Who was there was a guild that stopped playing TW for however many. Would you ever consider kind of thinking, right, I'm not going to kind of meta roll by DC of this set, skip that set, save all that money, save all the crystals, whatever, or spend it somewhere else, doesn't matter. But would you ever consider, because you would, like you say, you wouldn't drop out of Kyber 1 because you'd still be able to win. Your TW performance might drop, but if your guild kind of said all about at the same time, okay, let's screw this, TW, we're going to drop down. Thoughts? Sorry, Todd.
No, so there's the caveat with that. Where I'm at with Datacron investment, I have to put far less into bringing up new sets into decent amounts, because like when this set does, like, it's what I'm going to spend this weekend doing is managing my dusting. I will get 120 million data cash out of the dusting. So I need to spend 90 million of that before the forced dusting next Wednesday. So I will have basically a couple days of conquest to try to get to sector 4 as fast as I can to start farming mats for the new one, and then I will put the rest of the data cache into a couple of Datacrons that I have saved up for this exact purpose in the current set 12, right? The purple stuff. But it gives me so much. But the reality is that with how things are right now, with the Datacrons they've got in play, there are only a handful of meaningful Datacrons in the game where it's like, for the most part, I could sneeze and have them. So it's like it almost makes no sense not to do it. But like, if I were to step back and say I don't want to farm Datacrons for a couple of months, or I don't want to play any of that, I would just step out of the guild entirely and go to a little small guild where I can go, dink around and at 400 million and call it a day or whatever, because I wouldn't want to do that to the entirety of the guild. But I mean, it depends. Like if we were talking like back in like set 9 and 10 and 11, where massive defense powerhouse cron sets where it was just like you had to farm 30, otherwise you were going to be behind your peers. That would be more enticing to be like, yeah, screw it, I'm just going to do the minimum or none at all. But like the new sets coming out, it's like, what do you need in set 12? Well, if you have Afra, her cron, if you have Jabba, you need the Bausch cron, and then after that, and then a no revive cron. Like,
That's it.
You need those 3 crons, and that's about all you need from that set. Everything else is almost inconsequential,
It's
because
just
the
a
stats now,
bonus. Yeah, it's just a
yeah, the stats
bonus.
aren't great, and you're not really doing anything, and the reason why you needed them are going to fall off in a week, so who cares?
Yeah,
But the
you're looking
news,
for crons that have the stacking offense, those certain abilities at level 6.
yeah,
But the level
but
9s, you're
those
just
but
like,
those
okay,
aren't going to matter
no,
when
not really.
set 11 drops, because you're no longer trying to power
Right.
through
That's what I'm saying.
500% defense. So it's like, it's just the where everything's going currently is that I just feel like it doesn't really matter. So it's like the next set, if you have Bo, you get the Bo-Cron. You should probably get the
Beskar Mando.
Beskar Mando-Cron.
What's your
Um,
favorite? The Dark Trooper
Yeah, you
Moff
want that
Gideon?
one if you have it. That's a
yeah,
really good
if
one.
you've got him, well, yeah, because he gives him a free 6th character. Have a full 6-man Imperial Remnant team. But again, it's everything that they've come out with in this current cron set is gonna be offensively orientated, because there's no, like, if you put Bo on defense with her cron, she's gonna do nothing unless, for whatever reason, they change her AI to target enemies with no protection. So it's like, okay, well, I guess I just won't use um Lord Vader versus Bo. If somebody puts it on defense, I'll use somebody else, and I'll go destroy Bo on defense. The same
Super
thing with,
fascinating, Karthik. Thank you so much. I do have one small question. I don't mean to. Okay, so this new set, sorry, Ranger, this new set's dropped. How quickly does your guild give you a target on deflection, or
You're done.
like, do they wait to see the drops? Do they not give it?
Well,
Like,
it's
how?
RNG. So, I mean, for most people that do Datacrons, unless you're at the very top of the spear, right, and re-rolling the shit out of them, it takes about, what would you say, Karth? If you're like me, like for me, like I get my stuff back and then I start working as soon as conquest begins. I'm going to be heavy in there on this. This conquest is always my Datacron conquest. I'll get red crate, but it's not my priority. It's more about getting those materials in the treasure nodes, right? So I can roll.
sure.
And what you're doing is you're just rolling.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to you're like, I need Bo and I need Mando. So I'm just going to be focused on that first with my first couple of Datacrons that I'm going to get. That's all you're doing. Then after that, once you got those, and say you need DTMG, get that one too. That's your first priority. Then after that, it's like, all right, let me go for certain abilities and stuff and the other parts, as much deflection as I can get on them, but you're just letting them roll. You may re-roll some here and there, because if you're doing TW, win or lose, you're going to get reroll mats and stuff and other things. You may use a little bit of crystals, but for me, like right now in this last set, how many do I have? I got like 26. How many do I have? Yeah, 26, right? But level 9s, which I don't think you need a lot of. I've got Bosch. I've got Afra. I've got one for Han, but that's just because I was like, that could be fun. All the other ones are level 8. They're just sitting there at level 8 with just the different abilities. And so it just gives me something to have. So it takes a little time, but yeah, if you just fart around in Conquest, if you're trying to get red crate in Conquest or gold crate in Conquest, you're going to get a lot of material, especially if you get the 9.99 pack. You're going, which is really good value. You're going to get a lot of Datacron material, and as you do Datacrons over time, as much as I hate them, you get more stuff back to do it as long as you're being consistent with it. So, yeah. And you just save your reroll mats that you get, so you're not spending on them on those specific type of prawns. If you roll it up a couple times, if it doesn't hit what you need, go do another one. It's actually cheaper to roll one from the beginning and start again than it is to try to re-roll and re-roll. Right? So, I mean,
Thank you, incredible perspective. Thank you.
all right. What was the next question? What is the best bow team to run in GAC? Well, right now it's the full Monty, right? Tell me if I'm wrong on this, Karth. It's Bo, IG-12, Paz, Armor, and Mando, right? That's going to change once this new Kron set comes out.
You'll probably want to siphon Bo out, not Bo, sorry,
Mando.
Mando out, because he's going to be a powerhouse on his own right with his old team.
Yeah.
So that would probably be because I mean, you don't need Bam with Bo to beat Lord Vader,
No.
and especially with the Kron, you can 2-man it or 3-man it if you want. But the armor and bow and the or OG bow, it doesn't really matter which one you want to run with. The advantage of having OG bow with the team is that it is another scoundrel that you can DI, which is somewhat helpful. She's got an AoE cleanse and AoE daze. She's got some, and then she has a ton of protection to the team, right? She has 100% protection to the squad. So there's a lot of advantages with that. But it's more of what you're fighting. The reality is you probably need to split up between having a mix, being able to switch back and forth. So at least R3, R5 on both of them to be able to go back and forth on whatever you want to counter.
It's going to change after this new Datacron set, but currently that's what you're seeing people use, is that kind of combinations we just mentioned. So, next question. Meow Meow says, "Fight me, Karthik. What about Sith Lords? Sith Lords are a speciality." Meow Meow. Kimmy says, "Question: Does that mean you all would want CG to fix the matchmaking systems? Risky could lead to player base fun." No. You don't. You just create a division and then let everybody fight it out in that upper division. And then it's like the survival of the fittest. Whoever's at the top, you could create an NCAA bracket, and have round robin, kind of thing if they wanted to with it. There's a lot of fun stuff they could do, man. I mean, they could set it up to where it's like, you see this in high school basketball tournaments right here in the U.S. You have the winner moves on. They do this in the College World Series of baseball too. Winner moves on to the winner's bracket. Loser still has another chance. They go to the loser's bracket, and then they got to win all the way back up to get back into the winner's bracket. And it just kind of creates this thing where you're just fighting and fighting and fighting until you get to like the top 8, the top 4, the top 2, and then they duke it out, right? And so you could create something fun like that. I mean, there's, instead of, if you're in the top 100, the way it works right now is just you get matched the top 16 or the 8 in your bracket right now. So that never really changes. So in a sense, it is kind of fixed, as you get to the top of Kyber 1, right? The same players, that's one thing they complain about is fighting the same people over and over again, right? So, I mean, I don't know. That's just a creative way I thought of what they could do with the very top of the tip of the spear with Kyber. But, I'm sure there's some other suggestions. It could be creative. It could be fun. It could be, because what does everybody love watching in sports? The underdog taking down the top guy, right? How many times? That's what we watch these games for, to see if the underdog can beat the powerhouse, right? That's what we watch sports for. You see it in the NCAA college football. You see it in everything. Everyone's rooting for the underdog. Like, oh my God, it's like this big powerful team that's never lost, and here comes this other team, and they don't have a snowball chance in hell of winning, and then they win. And you're like, oh my God, so I think that would be kind of fun. I don't know what you guys think or suggestions on that from Kimmy's question, but that's what I kind of thought of.
It's a great question. I think they need to focus on the game mode, but give us I wouldn't say they fix it. I wouldn't say they just give us I do think there needs to be a league above Kyber 1. And that league only needs to have 350 people in it or something like that, about that range. But it needs to have a healthy promotion relegation, the same as you have from Kyber 1, Kyber 2, etc. So for me, just create that added league, leave everything else the same, and good luck to everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Nightmare question. What do you think the least number of GAC Omnis would be to remain competitive in the top 50 of Kyber 1?
10.
The least?
The least? Jesus Christ.
I mean, you need probably every triple Omni GAC character at least needs 2. And there's
So for me, okay. So for me, I think around 10, because a lot of the Omnis are no longer necessary. But I want to have at least 2 on Star Killer. I need to have at least 2 on Third Sister. I do think I also want Merrin, and I probably want Captain Rex as well. So at least I'm around 6 already. I I don't know any others. Maybe Dr. Afra, I want at least 1 or 2 on her. So I think I'm about 8. So for me, I'm at 8 already. So I want 2 on Afra, 2 on Starkiller, 2 on Third Sister, 1 on Marin, and 1 on Captain Rex. But I think it's a great question because for me, I think the Omicrons become less relevant. When you talk about the top 50 in Kyber 1, you're talking about mods and relics a little bit more. And a lot of the Omicrons no longer matter as much because you've kind of passed the point where an Afra can actually counter a Jabba because the modding on the other side has got so good. But yeah, interested to see what everybody else says. Sorry, that's my opening.
It's I don't even. Brain just went no. I didn't even try to minimum. I have no idea. That's a tough question because omnis do make a difference. You know, there's some on certain characters you can get away with not having, but at that tip of the spear, not having a tool in your tool belt, shit, you're just making your life miserable, man. Because at that point, you want every little thing matters. Am I wrong on this, Garth? Like you need everything. I'll trade off all power.
I mean, so when it comes to the Omicrons, it's like any of the meta teams like Seer, Reva, Malgus, Starkiller, now Bo-Katan. Those meta teams are propped up 1000% by their Omicrons in the game mode. That's what allows them to punch up. So it's like when you're looking at those kinds of characters, they make a huge difference into what you would need. But I mean, realistically, I think you could if we're just talking full GAC Omicron characters, you could probably get away with only needing somewhere between 15 to 20, depending on how you want to delegate the importance of specific tiers. But the reality of it is that it always depends on what your opponent puts on defense. Because I mean, most of these things we're going to talk about in offensive capability, so you might be able to get away with it currently with only having under 10, because you aren't going to see a lot of these teams on defense, or your counters that you're taking to offense don't care if they've got an Omicron or not. Like C is going to beat Malgus no matter what if they have all the Omicrons. One of the Omicrons doesn't matter. So that's kind of the general vibe when it comes to that, is that there's going to be a level of, hey, these work whether or not. And so
my thing on let's what you guys think on this. My philosophy for Omicrons are like my philosophy with condoms. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It's just the way it is. You know, if I'm not using it, great, but I have it in case I do. And there's been times where I've had an Omicron for a while. I was like, okay, I'm not really using it. Then all of a sudden that one time I'm like, oh shit, I'm glad I've got this thing. It's like Starkiller's third Omicron. We always talk about, his debuff ability. Not the debuff, where you throw the throw, right?
Oh,
for a long time we said,
can?
Yeah, the trash can. It's like for a long time we said, well, you really don't need that. And then you need it. You really need it, especially when you're facing raid teams and that mastery stacking on JTR. You need that shit to be hitting on that JTR. So it came in handy. I guess one of those things where that made a difference, and before we were kind of like, I didn't really need it. And then all of a sudden, and I had it, and I'm like, thank God I had that, because I picked up on that real quick, especially the Datacrons with the stacking defense and everything like that. It's like, Jesus, I'm glad I had that. So I don't know. You can get away for a little while not having certain Omicrons, but if you're climbing up and trying to be competitive, the more you have leading your team and to have those options, I just think it's better for you long. Easier said than done, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, reference, never buy condoms from a pack from CG. Half of them will not work, and literally it will not. Yeah, well, exactly. Well, you were like, oh God, I was worried there. Okay.
I didn't say condoms from CG. I just said condoms and Omicrons, two different products. Okay, come on, man.
Okay, we'll do not gamble.
Come
on
on.
the. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not gambling on that shit, okay? All right. If you don't cover, she'll be a mother. Let's remember that, man. All right.
I do think though. I do think there are Omicrons like Qui-Gon Jinn that become obsolete over time, and
Well, that's
Wampa
because
becomes
of yeah.
obsolete
Yeah.
over
Well,
time because who you're facing, you're never going to use a. I mean, Karth, you never use a solo Wampa on offense in GAC.
No, we
except
do.
for I
just
do.
did yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the cons, yeah.
Yeah, people just decide to put some dumb things down, or they're trying to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 100% like Ranger said. There are times where you're like, I'm never going to use Omicron again. I regret putting it on there. And then there are times where all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's actually incredibly powerful in this specific situation. So it's like if you have the tool, it's helpful to have. It's like the Zam Omicron, right? Same boat as kind of where Qui-Gon's at. She's really fallen off on the wayside because she's not the pivotal part. But as we kind of get the development of new things and new Datacrons, then she becomes viable again. She becomes a useful character in a 5-man team because you need to make up for not having Bam present if you have Bo-Katan. So it's like she's coming back to being useful again with her Omicron, and so it's like it's going to be an ebb and flow. Like the triple Omicron characters are always going to be powerful. They were designed out the box to run up against GLs. So they're always going to do that, whether or not they've got a Datacron or not. But the fringe, the single Omicron characters always have a little bit of ebb and flow as to what they can do, because it's like there are really good times where the Talon Ami is powerful, but if you don't have a team that it works in, or the way the Sith are getting split up, it becomes immediately useless. So it just goes back and forth as to what it can do. But yeah, that's 100%. It's one of those things where every Omicron has a use, but it's not going to be every single GAC match. It's an entire season that you go without using it. So
yeah, some Omicrons, like force diet. You have to have force diet. It's just one of those things. Like it's a game changer. And then there's some like the other ones, like I mentioned on Star Killer, some of these other ones, like, yeah, you don't have to have it, but having it makes a big difference, and it will come into play when you least expect it. So there are Omicrons that are, but when they do,
we'd love to have them all. We'd love to have them all, but there's
tough.
probably about 15 maybe we want, or somewhere around that would be the answer. I don't know. It's a hard one.
It can be tough. It can be tough, and you just have to be, like there's Omicrons I would love to put on. There's one I'd love to get on the Night Sisters. I can't do it because I'm about to do Bo, and then Darth Bane's coming around the corner, and I've already seen his kits. Like, oh hell no, I'm getting those three in. It's like Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's just the nature of the bit. And if you're not going to spend, you just have to be patient and be smart about where you're putting your Omicron, because they're such a bitch to get. They really are, so yeah. All right. Let's see. Amy, the only thing I want CG to remove, nerf for these god awful Datacrons. I have some good ones, still hate them. Sucks away the fun. They do. They're not going away. We've talked in depth about Datacrons. It's just one of those things we have to deal with, right? What are you going to do? They're making too much money hand over fist with this stuff. They're not going to remove them. It's a simple way for them to be lazy and do stuff in GAC to make it more interesting. I use that term loosely, but it does. So until such time as that we just give up on them, they're not going anywhere. And too many people invest, whether they want to or not, they're investing. Whether it's because they like them or just because they have to, they're not going away. They're just not.
It's the same as my point where we talked about the Bo-Katan coming back. If you spend on Bo-Katan, you enforce this. Okay, and when this Datacron set arrives and you re-roll trying to get a deflection, or you re-roll trying to get Bo-Katan, or you re-roll trying to get something, you are reinforcing that you like Datacrons. Like, you might not think you're doing that, but you're telling the shop that you like Datacrons. You're telling the gambling hierarchy that you like Datacrons. And I think until there's a wider kind of, right, let's not re-roll, or let's not always have this, then I don't know. I think we're always going to be stuck. And I like personally, I like Datacrons, so I'm going to come out there and say I do like Datacrons. I prefer them, but I do think that a lot of people that criticize them are also spending money on them. So like they're
Well, I'm not, and I still will criticize the shit out of them because
no, you know, I know it, but you know what I mean. Though, like, you go into some streams and people are like, I hate Datacrons, and you look at their Datacrons and they have like 400 defense crons, and you're like, did you really roll that first time? That seems a bit odd. You know, like it's I don't know. It's a very difficult ethical thing, and I think everyone needs to deal with it. It's a hard one.
For me, it's like I do invest in Datacrons. I don't invest money, but I do invest heavily in them. But I'm in a position, being the long-time player that I am, that I'm in a position to roll them. But I'm not going to spend money on them. But I just think the impact Datacrons have on the RNG and just the ridiculousness you see in some of these matches, it's horrible. You know, now they've gotten better with the stats. I think the deflection at first, when I first saw it, I'm like, here we go, the dodge stuff. When I first heard they were bringing back deflection. But then you look at it, the max, if you re-roll and get the perfect roll, is 100%. But I'm like, yeah, but that's countered by all that special accuracy and stuff I got in the other one. So that's really not that bad. What really gets stuff crazy is, you know, when you have like a Raycron that has 200% something defense, and you've got stacking percentage defense on that, which is it just makes the fight way harder than it already is, because getting rid of Ray just by herself is still a pain in the ass. But when you add something like that, you know, it comes down to RNG. So, you know, and I think that's where the frustration for players come in. And if you're not spending, you know, unless you're really investing the time to work on Datacrons, you know, if you don't have the right kind of team and or Datacron to counter the one in there, it could be really frustrating because you're not going to win. You're not beating that team because you know what's going to happen unless you get super lucky. But the Illuminati do not allow me to be lucky. You've seen ship
For
RNG
me,
for me. Yeah.
The solution is to not spend. When they sell you the solution, don't spend on it. Because if you spend on the solution, then you are reinforcing the problem. And I think we all need to take a little bit of a look at ourselves and say, hang on, am I spending too much on Datacrons? Maybe if everybody just pared back like 20-30% of their spending on Datacrons, then maybe things would start to kind of, but we won't. But I'm only saying that. I think that for me is the solution rather than take these things away. Like they're never going away because we keep like, they're whale food, 100%, Nathan.
Yeah. Money talks, bullshit walks. You know, what do you want me to tell you? You know, so I mean,
I walk away.
Yeah. You know, we can say, and I know they did what was it? The surveys and stuff on Datacrons and a lot of other things. So I'm quite aware that everyone gave their viewpoint about what they think of these things, and they're still here. Now, in fairness to CG, they have toned them back and they've been a little bit more balanced. I think the abilities have not been, but they've got a little crazy with some of them. But some of them are rehashes, but there's been some new ones where I'm just like, God damn. So there's always that thing where, you know, it can tip the balance one way or the other when you start adding abilities and stats and things to teams that are already ridiculously overpowered, right? And so it's more of a balance thing with me with Datacrons, and yeah. So, but that's that. So all right, yeah, Ray is very much horrible nightmare. I don't think I'm in TW. I don't think we've had any problems with Rays and TWs. GACs it can be because it depends on the defense. And I'm getting ready to do my GAC. And again, hey Karth, I got another one GL front wall again.
Oh man,
we're gonna have some fun. Oh, well, I'm about to show it here in a few minutes because that's what we do here at the end of Jedi Academy. Start doing my GAC. Oh my god.
I mean, it just depends on what your guild's putting on defense and what they are putting on offense. Because it's like we don't struggle with Ray very often, but that's because we have so many options to just roll her over with. Like I think last time we called Leia versus Ray because we don't put Leia on defense, and so it doesn't make any sense to do that. So it's like, all right, so we just raffle like Leia versus any GL is like a guaranteed raffle stomp against them, and so it's like, okay, well, next.
And I think that's where we're heading. I think that Leia, when she loses the Drogon Cron, will move to offense.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, 100%.
And we'll just roll Ray. because
Yeah.
there's no point in having her on defense. So Leia will become the Rey counter. So all these people with whatever Rey has does not matter. Leia will
Well,
just destroy it.
but Leia is going to, or Rey's defensive viability falls off a cliff after this current set goes away,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Rey is
100%.
not going to get 500% defense anymore. So you can go in with a less than,
A third
JML super
sister,
team,
yeah.
a JML super team, and still win, because now your damage is actually doing something on top of just relying on the coins. So there's a lot of things that are going to shift and change as this next Datacron set falls off. So, I mean, Datacrons really impact on what you can do with the meta.
Yeah, the health steal's going away. Yeah, all that's going away. So, and this next set has just stats on it. But it's going to be the deflection. That's going to be the thing that's going to be annoying. But with, as I said, the other set has all that accuracy on it. I was looking at a couple of Microns, like, I got a lot of special accuracy, big time on these. So I'm not too worried about deflection, because it's like that evens that out. So I'm like, okay.
But again, like we talked about yesterday, you need all all 6 rolls to hit deflection to even have a snowball's chance of hitting 100%.
Yeah.
And even then, the odds are you'll likely wind up somewhere in the 80s is what the odds say will happen.
I say at the moment I've rolled 6 times and I've hit potency 5 times out of those 6.
Yeah.
In fairness, I've rolled 1 new cron so far, and I have deflection on it 3 times already. But
wow.
Which percentage?
It's hold on. I think I got it on both the level 6 or the level 7 and 8 rolls. So I think I'm like 50% deflection. Let's see. It's 22.19 and then 12. So that's 34, and then they're 15. So I think I'm just at 50% deflection on that cron. But again, deflection is such a narrow defensive stat, because the majority of the game, probably in a good 70-30 split, is physical damage.
Yes.
So it's like it doesn't matter who'd have done what. It's such a dumb mechanic. Like, I can't even understand why they even bothered to put it in there, besides just to see if we go after it again. Because I'm like, it's like,
this ain't dodge, baby.
Yeah, well, if you roll, because dodge is everything, right? It's not just physical, it's everything.
I'm looking at a possuming. I'm looking to possum my Lord Vader team to kind of suck in a Fennec Shand.
And then they don't check.
Exactly. Well, no, but that's the point. If I give, like, if honestly these people are just looking at GAC insights going, okay, well, Fennec Shand is a great numbers on this, therefore Fennec Shand's a great counter, and I always use Fennec Shand, and I just have a Lord Vader in there with a little bit. I would encourage everyone to pause some people in with that sort of team, with that sort of deflection cron on it, and honestly, you will kill so many Fennec Shands will die. They just won't be able to kill you. It'll be insane. Anyway, that would be my top tip.
Yeah, pull them all and put deflection on. There you go. Whittleson, 3 questions.
Exactly.
So what will be good on defense after next week's dusting? Well, 3v3 is a different animal. It's a totally different animal, and Datacrons, their stats and abilities get enhanced tremendously. So you have to first have that mindset that we're going into 3v3. That's step 1. Acknowledging that it's 3v3.
I think Lord Vader, I honestly think Lord Vader will become better in both, simply because you've got the Empire buffs, you've got deflection. I think Lord Vader will get better.
Rey will still be Rey in 3s. She's still a pain in the goddamn ass.
Should just be more tolerable.
Yeah, she really is. But I think outside of that, defensively, it's going to be different combinations of teams and things. It's just a matter of what you're trying to force your opponent to do. And 3v3 is harder because you have way more teams and different variations of teams that you have to really figure out. And that first week of the 3v3 with the new Datacron set is chaos, because the meta is defined by teams. But each time that we get our first 3v3, these new Datacrons come in, and then it completely flips. We have to figure out that first week is figuring out like what's really, really good. So you go with your standard stuff on defense. This is typically what I do. and then see what's happening, and then I'd make adjustments after the first week, because it's like, you know, you have no choice.
I honestly think we're moving into meta where your character defense is never going to hold. So your answer, what's good on defense, is ships.
Oh yeah, ship RNG is ship RNG. I don't care what you
so
do.
basically, you need to play your ships as best as you can. Because I don't think anyone's characters are going to hold. We're moving into an offensive meta now, in my opinion, and it's getting worse and worse. So yeah, for me that'd be, so yeah, I would focus on your ships for threes and make sure you get the right ones there.
Darth Eldor. This is hello everyone. In question, what do you think will be our first major announcement of this year? Well, interesting, on the forums, was it Warrior, our good friend Warrior, asked if there's going to be any road aheads and coming up for 2024, and Meathead replied, yeah, there will be a road ahead here soon on 2024. What that's going to have, we can speculate a little bit here. We know there's going to be some Phantom Menace. It's the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace.
Well, I mean, B1 is the calendar reward for February,
yeah,
so
I mean,
put the math together, folks.
outside of that, we don't know.
For me, it'll be TW map improvements.
I think
they'll do,
definitely on the board. Yeah,
I think they want to do a JC map improvement, and I think they need to do a TW map improvement or game mode improvement. I think we'll see both of them twin together, and I think we'll see them announce the TW changes in the road ahead. And they might even allude to GAC changing 3 or 4 months later after they've let the TW stuff kind of bed in. And it could be a light side, dark side. It could be banning characters. It could be characters. We don't know what it is, but it's the thing they desperately need to do. I think they know that. So for me, TW's improvements will be their major announcement in the first road ahead.
But yeah, I think Phantom 1 stuff, episode 1 Phantom Menace stuff, that's definitely on the table there. All this, Karth, anything else?
Oh yeah, characters, I
agree. Some kind of legendary, but I don't know if they're going to tie that into the Phantom Menace with their new releases of stuff, Karth, with episode 1, or they may go like some Andor shit, you know, for we know we're going to get some we're getting some kind of legendary in April, right? April, May. Yeah. They although this cadence of the release has been different, the actual cadence of them doing stuff has not changed in the last couple of years. We know there's some kind of legendary something in this first quarter into second quarter starts leading into the ship meta, which we're going to get some kind of ship in the summer. That's what we work on, right? On top of everything else. All will be the new GL, right? And then into the Christmas holiday, we get another whatever legendary-ish kind of thing. That's been their release with stuff in between, with either ships or characters. There's been some other things just to improve characters and things of that nature that come in as well. But that's been their cadence of release for the last couple years. Outside of that, what they're going to go direction team-wise and stuff, those are our best guesses. Unless, Karth, I missed anything there. You can correct me on the record here.
No, I think you're set. I mean, it's just kind of the direction where we've been headed for a long time. So I don't see that changing too much. I mean, what we're going to get is leading up to the legendary event that's going to happen in the summer. So they're going to start releasing characters for that. We know there's a high degree of chance that the Galactic Republic and the Separatist fleets get some more love, because otherwise it made absolutely no sense to rework Mace's capital ship without getting that fleet some more clone troopers. And I mean, Admiral Trench is the only admiral that we've got in the game that doesn't have a capital ship, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. I don't know if they want to push it to be a huge meta fleet, but I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't either. It would be just what they would need to do. So there are a lot of things that they could do on that front. That would change how that plays out. So
I missed this question. I'll be damned. What do you think is the weakest fleet right now, Akbar? I'm going to throw Akbar into the ring. He needs some ships, and we need Red 5, A-Wing, B-Wing, and they're so bad for that fleet because they're pretty much left after this point with Radis being the dominant rebel fleet. You know, you typically have like 4 ships if you don't, well, 5 if you include Biggs, but if they're going to try to roll some ships out, I could see Rebels for Akbar getting some love this year as well. Maybe not Red 5 because God knows when that ship will ever fucking come in, but A-Wings and B-Wings being added to do that so that you have your Radis fleet and your Akbar as you know, we saw, you know, comeuppance come out for Resistance. I think we're going to see some more of that this year, and I do agree with you on Trench. I mean, adding the tri-gun, you know, fighter and all those.
Yeah, the tri-fighter,
you have
the gunship.
Yeah, you got your droid fleet and you got your separatist fleet. I mean, you know, they're just that are non-droid. So yeah,
they just need to. Well, they need to add. What would that be? 4? No, yeah, no, 3 droid ships, and then 2 separatist pilots. Which, I mean, you have Asajj and Dooku, so that's pretty vegan. Like you got pilots easily for that fleet, and then you can just bring in some more droid stuff, and then they can rework the Malevolence's kit to improve pilotless droid ships by X percentage on stats and make the Malevolence a threat again.
Yep. Last question, and then we'll go do some quick GAC, and then there's NFL football today and all kinds of fun stuff for everybody as we thaw out of here in the US. What else, Cynthia? Last question. Do you think BAM's DI should be reworked to protect light side Mandalorians too, or would that be too powerful? That'd be way too powerful.
Yeah.
Way too powerful.
I think they left it as an intentional Achilles heel to the process, so I don't see them changing it.
Oh my god, you imagine getting DI all the time on Bo-Katan? Holy
I mean,
shit.
just imagine being able to DI freaking
Paz. Oh god.
Paz.
Oh god.
Yeah,
you can't kill him. You have to shoot him, and he just lit your ass on fire the entire time. Oh my god, that would be horrible. Oh my god, you imagine that? We got all this over there going, oh my god. Paz would be unstoppable.
I would potentially, okay, I do think it does need a little bit of a rework for exactly your reasons, is that it has become a limiting factor, which means that if we launch other Mandalorians into that team and they happen to be damage immutable by BAM, then you're going to have to be super careful on their kits and their effectiveness. So
it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. I do think that they need to kind of put an asterisk on it, or I think everyone needs to be careful. I think I'd love them to launch more light side Mandalorians into the team. I mean, honestly, if Mandalorian's going to be an amazing thing in the new series and there's a million more Mandalorians, it will screw them that they've got that in the kit. So I think everything in the kit should be changeable, and I wouldn't mind it if they changed BAM's kit. When, you know, if they want to launch someone else and they change the kit, I wouldn't hold it against them because I understand how things change. But yeah, it shouldn't be changed today, but I wouldn't mind in the future if it had to be changed.
All right. With that, we're going to switch over to do some quick GAC. The coffee didn't agree with me. No. Aldous, you stick around? Do we need to pimp your stuff? You want to hang out for some GAC, or
no, I need to go and drink beer.
Oh, okay. That's actually a good reason. All right, Aldous, Sandfly, the biggest sandfly on the beach. Where can folks be checking you out there? Hot mercy.
Good night, people. No, it is my honor to be here. Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. Welcome to Sandflies on YouTube. And in a week's time, I'm doing my community survey, which was filled in by more than 1,000 people who gave their viewpoints on SWGOH, multiple questions. I'll be feeding that back and put it on YouTube. And yeah, like, it's interesting to see and super interesting to look through the comments and how people really feel about things. It's a difference between, when you ask people in chat to give their opinion or people in voice give their opinion versus when you give them a quiet form on their own and they fill it in and they submit it anonymously. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, I'm also playing Prince of Persia. Good fun on the island. Loving everything. Loving SWGOH, and it is an honor to be here.
We're glad to have you here. So everybody do me a favor, as always, anytime we have any content creator on, Please go check out their channel, watch their stuff. That's the least you can do, say thank you for them taking the time to be here on a Saturday morning for a couple of hours answering your questions. That's an easy thing to do, so go do that. All right, let's flip it over. All right there, everyone. Let's say goodbye
Good
to
night,
Aldous.
everyone.
All right, drink your
Good night,
beer,
good
you
night, good
filthy
night.
animal. All right, let me get this set up. We're going to do a little GAC so you can see all this shit's in action. And this is the time where I do GAC and Car says, don't do that shit. Ranger makes fun of me. It happens a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Okay. I've shared the screen. Oh, you can see. Oh, look at that. Garth and Ranger Bow. Huh. Winky dink, which we will be doing tomorrow.
Boo-boo. Oh, I guess I should pull up the Zoom stuff then, eh?
Yeah, if you
So
don't
looking
mind,
in- Yeah.
participate. Yeah. And keep your questions coming in. Anything that we talk about, discuss is still open. So if you have questions, get those in and all that fun stuff. See, engineer, question for Karth. I mostly get 3 or 4 level Datacrons that's free to play. What do I go for? Not taking relic tunes I have or have not, but no new bow. I mean, Empire's pretty decent on that. The other Empire level 9s are pretty
I mean, I would just look at getting the level 6s for the faction. So
much,
get
yeah.
the rebel fighter one can be fun with what they've got because it has some Momo
The
and
Empire
some
one's good.
Empire one's got some good stuff with it because it's got a lot of faction play as well. And then Mandalorians you can use with any. It's because it's not light side Mandalorian restricted, so you can do a Maul Mando team or something like that if you don't have bow or nowhere near it. So
yeah. Where does one get that form? Asking for a friend. I don't know. Get with all the Sandfly. We have to go to his Discord and find any information. So yeah, I mean, if you don't have the characters for level 9, I usually, outside of the ones I do take for level 9, I'm just like level 6 abilities and stats best I can, and I take them to 8. More stats, more better. All right, our opponents already made an attack. They did one attack. They've got 75 banners. So let's see what we can do. We lost our last one in a very close match. So we'll take a look at the board here, Karth. Oh, yes.
So briefly, Ranger, I have to disappear for a minute. The wife has so wonderfully made breakfast for me.
Well,
So
go get your breakfast. Wait.
I must go
go
indulge.
Yeah, go get breakfast.
And hang out with her for at least a minute or two this morning.
Yeah. We'll take our time here. It's fine. It's fine. No rush.
Yeah, I mean, you got. This isn't that complicated.
I know we know. We're about to use Star Killer versus that, so
All right. Well, I'll catch him with you a little bit later.
Yeah. Okay. He's gonna go eat his breakfast. So yeah, we got no GLs other than Ray down here. We don't know. Just breakfast. We have Qui-Gon. Okay. Dash and Gas. And this team. Okay. All right, Weddle 73. I know you're in chat. My data processor here. All right. I don't know if this guy's trying to do some sneaky shit where you put some sneaky shit in the back. Full efficiency, or there's going to be a GL in the back. But let's just use our normal counters here. Maybe use 1 or 2 GLs. We do have the full Monty of things that we can use here. We've got 5 GLs, Gas, Inquisitors, Radis, CLS, Phoenix, Starschmiller, Bad Batch, Treya, the baby Jesus. We've got it all. Well, I just said, I saw you in the chat. I mean, what else? Even if Karth was here, I would be going to you. You think his Leia is high in the back? Yeah, we're not going to use Jabba in the front. I think we save Jabba for the back just in case there's a Leia in the back. Look at this Kron, how much defense is on it. Jesus Christ. It's going to be. All right, well, let's just go in and have some fun, shall we? We'll try Star Killer here, and then we'll figure out the rest. Anybody else? Any pieces? Okay. All right. Oh, boy. All I find is to ride one open sleigh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All right. Let us begin. Almost tempted to bring GK. Usually I use Jahani, and that's been working really well for us. Let's go with what's been working, god damn it. She's been doing really good work for us. Jingle bells, Batman smells. Where's my cron? There it is. There's the Visas cron. So yeah, the ripoffs. We have defense, all this good stuff on it. They get the stuff and then cooldown stuff. Get out of here. Get those ads out of here. I don't want that. Ad skip. That's right. Shut up. All right. We'll equip this and then let's see how it goes. And if this doesn't work, then we'll have to use the GL, and that's gonna suck back. This fight usually goes really, really well, or it goes really, really not well. So now our opponent has much more GP than us, and you can see the Datacrons are ridiculous. So it's gonna be a tough fight, but let's see what we can do here. All right, Palpatine and the crew, and begin. Bum bum bada bada bum bum bada bada bum bum bada bada bada. Now the good thing there's no Tinky here. Put on him. Oh, we're gonna do. And then we're gonna throw this. Yep. And then we're just gonna keep firing on you. Oh, sorry, I meant to go to her. Fire! Do that. And keep on her. Keep on rocking in the free world. Oh, I forgot TW starts today. God damn it. Keep on rocking in the free world. Come on, get you in the DI. That's all I care about. Come on, keep firing. Almost there. Good. Now we go to bed. Get him. Get him. Kill him. Maim him. Harm him. Okay, DI. All right. You're next. Actually, go Barris. Okay, got that on you. Okay, she can't do anything. Yep. And all right, we got Barris out. Okie dokie. That's good in the pokey. All right, just basics here. Do that because that gives everybody poo-poo diarrhea. Get the poo-poo diarrhea off. That's all we care about here. Just hit Ray. Okay, good. 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 I think we are, but you never know. We've had diarrhea happen before. Okay, poke. Big hit. All right, we're fine. We're fine. Hit Ben. Actually, I want him healing. All right, I guess we're just not going to stun anybody with the shit on him. Okay. And just, you know what? Okay. Under control. Let's get her lower. Still in the eye, so I can't really do much there. Okay. Just poke. Yes, good. 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 And then there was Ben. Hey, 74 on a Ray team, man. I'll take that shit. God damn it. All right. All right. We can use GML against Malgus. We've done it before. Seer, I really don't feel like fucking around with that team. I think we see that one. Savage. What did we use against Savage last? I know we did one. Let me look at our options here. Yeah, CWAT's set for that team, but then Savage. What did we use Savage? I don't Savage League. I mean we can use SLKR against it. C can do it. I think we used SLKR last time, didn't we, on that team? Afra can eat that alive. Yeah, I think we use Afra on that. Yeah, Afra. Yeah, Afra is a much better efficient than SLKR. So I think we Dr. Afra the Savage team, right? And then we go after the Seer team with C, and then we just JML this. And that still leaves me JMK, SLKR, and Jabba for anything that might be in the back. And I think that's more than enough. If anybody disagrees in chat, feel free to speak up now. Forever hold your peace. Ooh, I gotta stretch. Ooh, oh goodness. Yes. Is it 64%? I'm seeing 94 against this. 94, 91, 93. That's even with Darth Revan in there. Are you sure it's 64%? Well, I think you used the B2 version, right? We're using the B2 version, right? Thank you, Jedi Rule. Well, if we're going to use Dr. Afra against somebody, right? Shouldn't we use it against Savage? Because we definitely want to use C, Watt, and this. Now, SLKR, we know does, the work here. So yeah. Yeah, Dr. Africon is 88%. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Because we do have the Dr. Africon. And so let me scoundrel her. And then yeah, we're gonna go B2. Destroyed. Where's IG? Oh, there he is. Yeah, we got the Dr. Africon because all they can do are basics against us. We just get constant turns and you just murderize it, right? So yeah. The engineer wasn't DTMG in the lists for Speeder Raid. Got him to Relic 6, but can't use him. No, he was not. Regular Gideon is, but not him. DTMG is not part of the raid. Regular Moff Gideon is, but let me drink some coffee before we do this Bieto. This could be the shortest offensive of all time. I'm just telling you. Oh, all right. Let's battle. Let's duel. All right. Okay, let's just start it. Keep on rocking in the free world. Dizzy jingle snarf snarf. Snarfy snarf snarf. Okay. Let's do those cooldowns again. And then we're dwindling them down. Gonna do those cooldowns again. And then we just beat the shit out of them. That was nice. That was very nice. We did nice work there. Way to go, guys. We really talked about it. We did a great job. All right. 2 for 2. Oh, they had a boo-boo already? What happened? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my. What happened? Where? Our Dash team did good work. Love it. All right. Yeah. All right. In we go. All right. But it is what it is. And then we'll JML that. We'll use Cal. Let me look at the north. What do we got in the north? I think it was just gas and dash and some other things that we've got plenty of teams for. Love to use C against that, but you know. Dr. Afro would have been nice against that, but probably have to use Rebels. Oh, we got GLs left, so we'll figure it out. Gases, dash, Qui-Gon, Professor. We'll see what's in the back, and then we'll make our attack. All right. Let's see. Yeah. There's my Sith Empire Trooper. Harr! And where be me what? Harr. Harr! All right. And then we just need a healthy Kron here. All right. Hmm. I mean, yeah. Yeah, we're going to use that. Definitely using that one. Definitely. Yeah, it's good morning to Desi Jingle. Schnarf, schnarf. Schnarfy, schnarf. All right. Okay. Put that on you. And then we have no choice. Probably Malicos. Yeah, he'll take the most turns. I do want to get Seer and Malicos, and then we do crew, and then we'll see. Put this on you. It's all Quo. Just a Quo. And just keep taking turns. I mean, that works for me. Oh no! The Sith Trooper just bossing it up here, man. Yeah. I do want to get her out of there first. Sorry, but not sorry. Ooh. Let's get these two out of here because visas ain't going to be a problem. And then boop. And then there's just visa. No, I'm sorry, girl. You can't revive. Hey, man. Clean. 62. Yeah, Carth will be back. He's just eating breakfast right now, Desi. Schnurf, schnurf. He's been on, and his wife made him a delicious breakfast full of midichlorian vitamins. And so, yeah. Oh, don't forget about Jedi rules there, Desi. Jingle, schnurf, schnurf. All right, so he's dropped the battle. We've been clean so far. JML here. Anybody? I think we use JML. It still leaves us 3 GLs. I think we're. He should. If he didn't, I would make him because, well, I would just make him. What else we want? Jedi, Luke.
Relatively fair.
What do we want to use here? Oh, we're 3 for 3 so far. It goes very well, Carth. Female, Jedi Cal, Jedi Luke. Probably Hermione. You want to want Hermione action? Oh, Hermione action?
Sure.
Revan for sure, I think, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can. This is going to be a real strong overkill, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. Now, I don't have the 9 million. I only have a 35 protection percentage. I'm about 85% behind Karth on this, but it does still good to work.
Just
You
a solid
know.
like 60% protection behind.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. Desi says hello, Karth.
Hello, Desi.
So good to see you. He's already dropped against our dash team already. We're having good results here, Karth, so far. Pretty good.
Yeah, my main account that Scribe played last night, the
Just
guy
total slaughter.
the guy did his first battle and got a 57 and then dropped his second battle, so he's lost already.
Oh my.
What was for breakfast? It was this beautiful thing called eggs and pancakes.
No sausage?
No, we didn't have any. We've been the so the West Coast has had a mix between snow and ice for the last like week and a half, and the one thing we're having a hard time getting to the grocery stores is meat.
Mm.
So we went shopping the other day, and it was like, well, do we want that or do we want? I mean, there was no freaking anything to eat, to be honest with you. I mean, there was all the packaged goods, but any of the fresh stuff was really hard to pick up. So, over medium eggs, Ray Rock, which I guess would be a version of sunny side up. I just don't like them super runny unless it's on unless they're poached eggs on toast. Then I like them runny. But if I'm just gonna eat eggs straight, I don't like them runny. A little runny is fine, but super runny is not my favorite. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, has he continued attacking or is he done? It's the funny part to me though, as Ranger, is if I go 3-0 this week, oh, he's done. He's lost. Yeah, he quit attacking. I'll be getting to fight all of those wonderful people who have been bugged promoted to the top of Kyber 1.
Okay.
Which will be fun to do because it'll just be smashing like 4 to 8 million GP accounts for like a week straight until I get to ASOP, and then then it will be an actual challenge again. But it'd still be like going 2-1 every week, because even if I get into the top 8 and I'm fighting ASOP, we still have like the other 6 people are going to be shitty. Dun, dun. Gotta quit inflicting debuffs on these guys.
I know, right?
You can't call anyone to assist.
I know. The basics.
And you just need to try to recover some banners with good old
64. I mean, yeah.
Hermie. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
All right. Full clean. Couldn't see what's in the back. We still have 3 GLs left. I just wanted to see if he's going full. Uh-huh. JMK, Lord Schmader, and okay, that's getting reddest. So we have Jabba, and we have
JMK.
JMK, and we have SLKR. So we do have good options. Boy, I'm really tempted to visitor the shit out of that. If no, I can't because it's got the no revive, doesn't it? Yeah.
Michael, I like scrambled eggs with cheese and or other things added into them. You know, that's always good too. But
Yeah.
usually just for the sake of cleaner eating, I just eat the eggs straight.
Well, let's
Little
Radis this
S&P.
team here, then we'll figure out what we want to use. I think we Jabba Lord Schmader. No, not what is it? Let's do this first. Let's do Radis first because we're new. Oh, Rogue One. Oh. Hello, Rogue One. Actually, I need to reset the game. I got to reset the game.
Yeah, to declare a zone, now you got to reset BlueStacks to make sure you don't.
Not that I don't trust the Illuminati. It's just
I don't trust the
game.
Illuminati. Yeah, I'm with you, 100%.
Oh yeah, TW kicked off. I got to go do a TW attacks after this. I forgot to start it so early today. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, the second one always starts at 10.
Ew.
Makes it a little-
It's the Jedi Academy one there, Desi Jingle Snarf Snarf. Hold on, I'll get you. Right. Hold on there, Jesse. Hold on, Desi Jingle Snarfy Snarf. Snarf, snarf. There you go. There we go. And everything is right with her. All right. All right. New guild orders issued. I don't need that because I'm going to go over here afterwards. All right. Back in the GAC. Dun 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Bam, 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 bam.
You need to take Omega to Relic 5.
I not have a Relic 5?
Not on my alternate account.
Oh. All right. We were going to do Rogue One versus this. So. One. And it's not this one. Yeah, we want this one. What's the other one here? Which one? More protection. And we're just going to beat the shit out of DMTG until it's our turn. And then we're going to win.
Yay!
Yay! Snarf, snarf, Desi Jingle, snarf, snarf.
Snarf, snarf, snarf.
Snarf, snarf.
Damn good to hear your voice, Garth.
Yay! Or something of those nature. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. I wish you better luck than me on these fights.
Oh.
I am 50% win rate with Radis versus
Really?
Imperial Troop. Yeah. Like, well, in fairness, the Krons I have to go up against are a wee bit more
ridiculous.
But it's like they put the tank down and immediately nuke Radis, and then Jin can't get back to her a revive in time. It's just like, well, that was well, that sucked. Oh God.
Oh no.
Dun, 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 dun.
Man, it'd be really cool if you would have killed somebody.
Sass on this man.
It's like the one thing I hate about that fight is that the if you don't have hope up when you or not if you don't have Spark of the Rebellion up when you do that fight, it's just like, well, there goes that.
Well, it's still clean, man. I'll take it.
Hey, I'm with you 100%. The dub's a dub is a dub. Mm,
I don't have. Second defense with the.
oh no. Would be a shame if you're um
I'm just
mean-
debating SLKR, but I don't have Watt.
yeah, without Watt, that's a really rough fight.
You know what I'm saying? So
What are GLs in the back wall does he have?
it's JMK.
Well, you can job with was it with the no revive crown then probably, eh?
No.
I need to go back to the Zoom call. What's the chron on JMK? Is it
It's
a
a no
scoundrel?
revive, yeah.
No revive.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's gonna suck. That's gonna limit what we can do a little bit.
Well, we can JMK mirror match and do the thing, to. I mean, I usually use Inquisitors against that, but with the no revive cron, if you can get ugly.
Yeah, if what's her nuts cat gets anywhere out in front of you, then it goes really shitty really fast.
Yeah. So it's like,
Do you want to build a snowman? Hmm. Does he have anything good in the front walls?
no. I'm not worried about the front wall. It's just this. Because we have gas, we've got dash, we got the Qui-Gon team, but it's not even a cron, and then resistance.
Yeah, all he's hoping for is that you try to use Bad Batch versus the Kelleran and then you screw up, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we have that we can throw with Slacker? Do we have at least like the armor or somebody?
We have armor, yeah.
So do like Slacker, armor, Hux, Daka Zombie.
Don't have Night Sisters.
Oh my god.
I mean, we could go in there with bounty hunters and try to kill some of this stuff. I don't know.
You could definitely try, and then clean up with a GL.
Yeah, I think that might be a play, right?
That might be a decent shot.
Go bounty hunters. Yeah.
I think that dog will help.
I mean, that dog will definitely bury a bone.
Woof woof.
Let's go here.
And then we want to know revive cron as well, because of scoundrel bonuses. Let's see here. Armor penetration on this one. Can't be revived. That's pretty good. Stacking offense.
I mean, stacking offense would probably be the better part. Well, but it's not on Fennec, so that's not incredibly helpful. No one on that team can revive anyways, so the level 6 isn't that great. You'd probably be better off with something that does the bonus turn on basic,
Let's turn on basic.
but you need to make sure you time that to where you don't have dots on you, because you won't gain the 100% turn meter if you have a dot. So that's the only caveat with that one.
I know.
But I would sort by resistance penetration. That would be the highest thing I would take, and then after that, worry about the rest of it.
59. But it does stack in offense, but it's just blind. I don't know.
Do you what's the next one over? Do you have one that's the okay?
Those
What
are gonna
about
be
the
our two.
one to the right of Bausch?
That was the one we were originally looking at.
Okay, we revived. Okay. What's that level 6 down low? I want to see if you happen to have one that has the ability block.
The ability block?
Yeah,
Let me see
ability
here.
block level 6. Yeah, the veteran Han one to look at too.
No.
That's unfortunate. Okay.
Let me look at. Let me do something. Which has an ability block? One of these did.
I don't think it's gonna be on a scoundrel cron, and I don't think you got it. You've got blind, but Vader can't miss his attacks, and neither can Maul, so that doesn't really do us a heck of a lot of good.
No, I'm just seeing if I had one.
Ability block would be better.
I don't think we have it. Nope.
No, I would take the 100% turn meter one with resistance penetration, or whatever you got for high resistance penetration, and then just try to time it properly for the fights.
This one right here. That was the one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have stacking offense, but oh well.
I mean, but you only have light side anyways, which none of your light side characters matter. So.
It doesn't really matter, so yeah. All right. Well, it's worth a shot. If it doesn't happen, then we'll go in with SLKR, right? So it's worth a shot. Battle.
Hang him.
Hang him.
Should be DI on
Bennett.
DI. No. On
Boss?
no on
Bennett.
the guy who's actually injured.
Mando?
Yeah, because Fennec will still trigger.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to worry about her, but if they go after Mando, then you're gonna get hosed. All right, so yeah,
now we put it on here.
On Bosk. Yeah, because he's gonna keep going after him. The only thing that sucks is the interruption here of the turns. You don't have any debuffs on you, so just call for the mass assist.
Yeah, might as well.
So send it again. All right, delete Maul. Yeah. And then work on getting after Thrawn and Vader. Yeah, so now you'll get your I must have missed the bonus turn there somewhere. That's all right.
Put that on Fennec.
Yeah, on Fennec now. Because he can't. Yeah, he's out of there. Get Vader. Heal, yeah, heal up. There we go. There we go. It's looking delicious. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now go back. Yeah. Let's say your cleanse. You can reset the debuffs on that. So now you should now have plenty of time to deal with her. Him. Sorry. Back on Fennec for some stacking.
Yep.
Offense. More armor shreds. Mass assist. You're not dazed. Should kill you.
Hang him!
There you go. That actually worked out incredibly well.
Well, that's what I figured, right? It was like, even if it fails, right, we can clear a lot of the shit around it, right? And then that's an easy one too, right? But if it works, it works.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get stuck behind Royal Guard too long because you were able to double tap that freaking
Yes.
yeah, there's that. No, why can't I think fast enough?
Royal Guard, Darth Schmader, Maul, and Thrawn, and versus Lord Vader, we had the Fennec team.
Oh no, it would be a shame if your Malicos just fell over.
Now this one, I'm trying to remember. We're gonna go first, but we're gonna trade tanks. No, we want to. Here's a manipulation. It's been so long since I've done this. We're gonna lose our tank. We want Shock T in here, right? Or Snips. To clear you call them first, and then you can yeet her, right?
Well, no, because it only works with Mace as the tank, so it doesn't matter. You'll probably want Snips here, and then just.
Oh, we put her on defense. So I'll bring Shock T in. Still really good.
Yeah.
And then we want no Revive Con as well. Go stack in offense.
Hey.
I could have sworn the first move, because even with Mace, all Shock T with her, get rid of Kenobi.
You can't. He gets his taunt back immediately.
Yeah, so it's not going to go.
You just swap the tanks and call it a day.
Yeah, then we just go after.
But probably you probably want a different Kron.
Which Kron do you want to use?
Because it doesn't. They can't revive anyways, so you probably want something that gives you a lot more bulk or a lot more damage.
It's got 5% second offense with armor penetration stuff. I mean, what more do you want?
Defense. What do you have for the orange Krons? Buffs on basic, nothing crazy. We don't want the UFO one. All right, we can auto the rest of that fight. Scroll. Is that what else do we have on those orange ones?
That's it.
Yeah. So buffs on. Okay, yeah, you'd be fine with what you have then. Never mind. Because you're gonna tank swap no matter what, so it didn't really matter. Hey, Miss Sear, you need to stop being a poo-poo head.
All right, change tanks and then finish it off. All right.
Yeah.
Battle begins. Dun, 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 dun. Well, you don't want to go in there with Mace because that can go bad.
Oh, they'll just cleanse it.
Yeah. You're going to kill my tank. I'm going to kill your tank. That's just the way this world works. Okay. Why did you go ahead of me? Pretty sure I'm better.
This cat was faster.
Let's send Kenobi. We don't need to cleanse anything right now. Get him going. They're going after the mothership.
Yeah, they're always going to do that.
Yeah. He's good.
Whenever Shakti has an ability, though, make sure you're targeting JMK because you'll ramp his mastery. And
Yeah,
then once you get to your alt, then you just target then you just have JMK target cat.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot he'd stealth. We're gonna go into ultimate anyway. Come on. They hit every time and I miss every other time. I mean, come on, man.
Well, in fairness, she had evasion up, so
I know, but Jesus.
You can cut her a little slack on being a tool because she actually had the buff that makes it a pain in the ass. And then foresight, of course, because why not? You probably want to target Cat with those to get more mastery on her.
I just want her to die. She
Oh,
won't
good.
fucking die. God. Thank you, Jesus.
I get Patters out of there now
Yeah.
because she's the big pain in the butt. There you go. Your
There you
ramping
go.
offense is taking over.
Ugly, but effective.
Yeah.
Jesus. I hate that so much. God damn it, Jim. Okay.
Has he done any more attacks on your board?
Yeah, he lost to Dash. So he took out Leia, and then he did the Dash team, and then dropped the battle here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 GLs on defense. Ooh. Okay. Well, we have a lot of nice stuff left over now. We have Jabba, Inquisitors. What else we got? Oh, God. We have some CLS, SLKR. 2 GLs, a Gaston, and Inquisitors.
Yeah, I think you'll have it.
So it's just a matter who's going to be the most poopy diarrhea. Resistance, we can SLKR that, or we can SLKR the gas team. Or who do we want to Jabba? What do we want to use where? That's what I'm. It's not a matter that we don't have stuff, and I still got Bad Batch and CLS.
Do you Afra still?
Yeah, no, we used Afra on the SWGOH team for
Oh, okay.
65.
Okay.
So,
I would probably do Jabba versus that gas team, and
okay. Then who do you want to use SLKR on?
Honestly, I would maybe push it toward something like
We haven't the Inquisitors too. We can Inquisitors that gas team, couldn't we?
it'd just be messy. That's all.
Okay.
I would rather Inquisitor the Qui-Gon team, to be honest with you.
That makes sense. Okay, let's do it. We'll Jabba this one. Because we can gas that Dash team, no problem. Where is it? Oh, H. I swear I know how alphabets work.
Oh, nice.
Well, nothing for it.
Yeah, I mean, you just wail on them until they die.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
Evil.
Evil. Take a seat, Skywalker. What? Uh-oh. Well, why don't you resist the Rancor? Jedi Michael says, can you tell Karth that it's me, Jedi Rolls 189? This is my real. Yeah, he knows who you are, Jedi Rolls. He knows. He knows. He's got you. Dadzy Jingle Snarf Snarf knows. Karth knows. Yeah. All right. Should we have some fun inquisitoring the shit out of this
I'm
one?
just doing a great job at not paying attention to the Twitch
chat,
chat,
yeah,
not the chat,
the
because
YouTube chat.
I'm on
He's
the
eating breakfast.
Zoom. Well, no, I'm on the Zoom call, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
makes it a little harder.
it doesn't show up there.
How about this one? We could do that one. That's pretty good. Oh god, or we can give him that one, but that doesn't really make sense. Oy. Qui-Gon Jinn, you're gonna die. Gonna shoot you in your thigh. All right. Well, I mean, just go after Anakin. Go that. Get him down, and then let the AoEs do their thing. That's what they do here. Yeah, you can fuck right off. I was busy doing stuff. Oh, you used that too soon. Too quickly.
That's the
Evil! Dodge. That many debuffs on? That screwed me. Evil! Alright, so we'll gash the dash, and then SLKR this, anybody? Or hit the,
yeah.
or hit the resistance. We're not going there and
That should do the job.
color run. I don't know if you know this. I'm pretty dope. Yeah, tank. I don't think we need any of its other first order shit. What do we want to use here? So many choices. Stacking offense. Yeah. Armor pen, physical. Evil. That the guild telling me, oh, that's in, oh, failed already. Already had fails, huh? Gee, I wonder who I want to poke here. How about you? God.
What is happening?
Total slaughter. Total
Murdered them.
slaughter. I didn't leave anyone alive. Oh no. Good. And then we'll use this protection-y, rebel-y one here, because this is good. They get the damage. How's it? Defense, crit damage. Yeah, let's use this one. God. Kala went in there and said, hello. And then before he even got to the O, they were gono. They were dead. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Always love that.
Dear Jesus. All right, gas versus this. We know how this goes. Kill Dash because we don't have to worry about Vandor because they can't revive. Okay. A lot of good stuff in the beginning. Then we're form up. Shape of an octopus. Oh, you gotta love the stun.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, he's up and he's angry. All right, clean kill. That's all we care about here. As they already dropped a battle, we're clean. Clean as Irish Springs. All right. Oh, well, look. What do we got here? Leviathan, Malevolence, and Triple Attack. Empire versus Leviathan. Leviathan. We do have Profundity. Well, we're going to use Empire there. Let's just use Empire against Leviathan. We can use Leviathan either against the Triple Attacker or the Malevolence and go Profundity versus Executor. I'm open. I'm open to thoughts, suggestions. Bitches. I think that's the play here, Karth, Daisy. I think there's anything else that needs to be discussed.
Probably not.
Chimeras. Empirus. Is that MK6 or is... Oh, it is. All right, we have to rethink this. Okay, so I thought that was the Sith Fighter. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. We just go regular Leviathan here. Then we'll Empire the Malevolence. Right?
Sure.
And then Profundity the Executor. I think that's a good plan. But if you're going to go that versus me, then I'm just going to go Sith. You don't heal. Fighter? Where be me, Sith Fighter? You. I mean, do we need Dorito? It would be good just to have as a backup. Good catch there, my young Padawan. What else? Anything caught that? I thought that was Sith Fighter. I was just so used to seeing Sith Fighter. I'm like, okay, hey, Empire. And then, no. So, yes, we definitely want to use this because we can get ahead of it. Well, eventually with turn meter. Let's see how the RNG is going to be. Yay, we get to go first. Huzzah. You're a good friend with us. Didn't get the ability block? That's horrible. God damn it. All right, you bastards. Basics here. He blued up. Oh. Okay. Shit. Bring in. Oh, you're going for the fast ult too. Not.
Their first reinforce should be their Sith Fighter, and
It's going to go boom boom.
Goes
now,
boom boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I can heal. That's what I was waiting for. Is that stun? And we'll target you, so you get the stun, get rid of him, and then this is that's a win there, Captain Jack.
But why is the rum gone?
And bad eggs.
When you drink it all.
But why is the rum gone?
The rum.
What'd
Why'd you do the rum?
What did I do to the rum?
Where's the rum?
No, if it's Karth, he bad touched it.
It's very true.
Exactly. What else? You're a good man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, that's a good clean win there. 74 starting off the fight. That's pretty good. All right. God, I hate this fight because either the RNG is really good here or it's really not good, Karth. God. Uh,
Yeah, that's always how that kind of feeling goes, isn't it? Either goes great or it goes to shit.
now, someone
Either
said I
way.
should be targeting the Falcon on the first hit, and then I was like, I don't
The
know.
the Falcon.
Yeah, on the opening move instead of him, the Outrider. Like,
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's an option, but I don't see why
I
you
don't,
do
I
it.
don't know why I did it. And bad eggs. All right. Well, we already know what's going to happen here. Either the Illuminati is going to hose me here, or we're going to have a decent result. I mean, there's no way ifs, ands, or buts about it. And now I always bring in wigs because, well, I don't trust the Illuminati. So here we
I vote for decent result.
go. Sick of ship RNG smoking my ass.
It is known.
All right, here we go. Hold on to your butts. Okay, that wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad opening. That wasn't a bad opening. That's okay. That's working. That's working. AoE.
I like the wiggle there versus if IG's already down, just in case they decide to. Yeah,
Do that.
they went yeah, well they went full they went until they killed him, so which is fine.
No way.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
All right, let's bring in you. I mean, I guess I didn't want the Falcon to attack. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean you don't want to assist in the rebel fleet. It's not like they're built off them or anything.
No,
They just do whatever they want.
No, you're here for a challenge, damn it.
Ranger is challenged, damn it.
bad
yeah.
eggs. Oh, come on. Jeez. Throw me a freaking bone, Scott. Jeez.
Pass. Thank you though.
All right. Well, 71. We'll take it. Now, the Empire one, I haven't quite remember. We go after. We just do our normal stuff here, right? Against Malevolence with Empire. I don't think there's.
Yeah,
Any...
it just the only thing that sucks is if they're able to target Scythe, which depending on who's doing it can, and then it can get a little hairy.
I don't think we need anything more than this, right? It's
No, I don't think so.
4v5. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
That's not gonna
I think we just go after Funsec here, right? Don't really do much until after we get Defender in. Same bat time, same bat strategy. Here's Funsec. He's going to be taunting any specials. Oh, we can bring Defender in right away? Holy shit. Can I stun Spy immediately?
No, because
He'll
you'll have a
taunt.
buff
Yeah,
and
he's
Sunback will
gonna
taunt. Yeah.
Oh, well. Good dodge. Good dodge. Do we want to heal here? No, probably turn meter here.
Pull back turn meter.
We don't want Spy. I guess Spy just does whatever the hell he wants. Of course! Why wouldn't he? Why the F wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's what pretty much always happens.
God almighty. Jesus Christ. Every goddamn time.
Yeah. Get rid of Sunfac.
So angry. It's like, God damn it. Oh, that's so bad. This ship's gonna come in. Jesus Christ.
That's all right. You get your delete now.
Oh, who needs the hit?
Vader needs the heal. I mean, needs is relative. He's the he's the most damaged.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Dodge, 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 dodge. Today's GAC round brought to you by
Dodge.
Dodge. All right.
Bad eggs. All right.
There you go.
Still
Not bad.
72, but damn it.
Damn it, Jim.
1822. I'll take it. Spinner, we had what, 4 GLs on defense and everything else? Not bad. Not schwabbity. Not too bad schwabbity. It went pretty well. It's pretty cool, guys. So we'll go a few more minutes here for questions. I'm going to go look at TW real quick and have Karth yell at me.
Yeah. Something like that.
Let's see what we got. Everything. Well, let's go find a tough team. Let's go start with a nice Leia team. You want to start with a nice Leia team? Get that out of there. Oh, goodness. Is there anything left in the Leia teams in the north? Jesus Christ, or is this everywhere? Okay. Those are all Ray, Jane K's. We'll come back. I need Leia's. Start with the nice Leia smacketh. Java. Lord Schmader. Java. There's a Leia team. Let's get this bullshit out of here. We don't want to see it. All right, we'll just put on the old bougie chrome, and let's do this. So if you have any other questions, get those in. I'll do one fight here in TW, just so, you know, reasons. And then we'll take it from there. There's no more questions, and we'll end the stream. And then Karth can go enjoy some more delicious pancakes and eggs. And Desi can be not cold. And I have to go to the gym. No. Drogon. Drogon's the one we want. That's the bastard we want to get our full attention on. You're going to do that. Okay, same thing. Let's throw some thermals. All right. And just keep firing, assholes. Just keep throwing shit at them. All right, let's do this to Java. Let's get all the bullshit off. Get it all off. Get it off. Okay, stay on Drogon. Keep shooting him in the head. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, that was... Okay, I'm sorry, Drogon's still there. I don't know if you know this. I'm still going to go after Drogon. Now I'm in payout. Okay, and then we'll go after R2 Daytona. More onto our Daytona. Yes, stack the thermals. Yes. Good. And big hit. Bye-bye. Now we'll just kill old Ben. Yeah, bye-bye, Ben. I really don't care. I'm going after the Leia now because I can't really target Momo. Back to you. Yes, good. Embo, what? You take that. Oh, you can't.
You need to get that tenacity up off of her.
I know. I need Embo to take a turn. Little bastards.
How did they get tenacity up?
Is it Momo?
Is it the... No, it must be the Kron.
On Drogon's back. Even his. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Kron. Whenever they AoE,
Yeah.
they get tenacity up. Yeah, I might as well hit her with an armor shred.
You can slap her with a buff immunity too.
I'm trying.
Another armor shred. Mm.
Hey, we did it. It's just an annoying fight. Just the way it goes. Alrighty then. We did good work. We did good, guys. Did great work. Did it. JMK use JMLS. You want me to use JMLS for JMK? You got it. Don't they have the no prime, but they can't work against a GO, right? So I don't think really.
Yeah, they just blow it versus she blows her instant defeat versus JML, and then all you want to do is make sure she uses it. So you just don't try to push her cooldowns back and let her get to it.
Yeah, no
you,
ability block in the beginning or anything like that. And we'll go full Monte here. Cal, Luke. What else you want here, Karth? I'm open. Revan. What else we want?
I mean, Hermit Yoda. If you're at that junction, it's just the easiest comp to win. You just let Cat get her yeet off, and then you use Revan to mark Cat, and then you just focus her out as fast as you can, and then you use your instant defeat on either GK or Padme or whoever.
No Padme on this one.
Yeah.
But probably
So,
GK.
Yeah.
And now we'll go after her. Hello. Wow, that was fast. Okay. That was nice. That was really nice. I didn't really want to get her buffs off. I was kidding. I didn't really want to do that, so my bad. Just win. He really has a hard on for Revan. And hey, we won again. Yay! We did it, guys. We did it. Great job. Worked hard, did it. All right, let me see if there's any more questions. I don't think there is. We'll go around the corner here with the kids and see what they have any final thoughts after having a delicious breakfast card and a great Jedi Academy. You can see me and Karth. We're going to work on getting the Momo event for you guys tomorrow. Any final thoughts there, Carthagenicus? Okay. I didn't know that. All right, let's try this again.
Did he die?
Yeah. Desi, dingle snarf snarf. I heard your voice, so that's a bonus. Any final thoughts?
Have a happy Sunday, everybody. A Saturday. I keep forgetting what day it is. Lord, it's been a week.
We'll try Karth one more time. Karth, any final words?
Oh no, Ranger. Nothing to say here.
Karth, I think you went out of puberty there. Jesus.
I'm fine. It's just the eggs.
I don't know.
Bad eggs. Oh. Second breakfast. That's right. We've had one breakfast, but what about second breakfast? That makes sense. All right, let's go check GAC one more time and see what we can see here real quick. Uno momento por favor. And we'll check it one more time. And then we should be good. All right, he's doing his push. He's doing his push, but he already had a drop, so okay. So he took out Seer. So he's going to make a run for it, but that drop battle is going to hurt him. So yeah. So that's going to make it really tough. Still doable, but it's going to make it tough. Oh, he's
so
lost.
Very sad. Oh,
That's true. 30 banners.
he
That's a
poked
lot.
it again.
Yeah, he's going for it. Still got the dash team sitting there with what's his butt. So that's going to be brutal. So we'll see. All right, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comments, later, all that stuff. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for joining us. We'll get that video out there tomorrow for you guys. Make sure you check out Carthrick. That's what I'm trying to get him to pimp. Tribe Talks tomorrow with Princess Scribbles. And then we'll be back Monday. Tonight I'll be back for some D&D myself. And then Monday we'll start our normal festivitas. And we should have some extra festivitas next week because we're going to be trying to raise more money for the ACS. So with that, everyone have a great rest of your day. Appreciate all you guys. Love you. And we will see you when we see you. Peace out.